Time for Of the Devil episode 2, baby. I only get to play this. Thanks to a generous donation by a chatter, I am going to get to play it. I'm very much looking forward to, obviously. Since the first one was so fucking good. Also, I've tooled around the menus a little bit, got myself a new phone charm. With my riches. Very important to have the Emma phone charm. I was thinking about the Reyes one. I might buy that one too. I gotta get Angie also. Very important. Alright. Start episode 2. It's time. You can choose to play episode 2 in high roller mode. In high roller mode, you're limited to one save slot, and you won't be able to reload your saves while inside the courtroom. Quick saving and auto saves will be disabled as well. Minimum ante for hands will be increased. Minimum maximum penalties for answering incorrectly during the trial of the gameplay will be increased. But the maximum ante will be increased as well, allowing you to earn the largest possible high score for credit in this episode. Completing this episode in high roller mode will also unlock an exclusive phone charm that can't be earned any other way. You can turn high roller mode off at any time in settings, but in order to turn it back on, you would have to restart this episode. High roller mode is intended to encourage risk-taking and discourage save scumming. Consider enabling it if you want to pursue this mystery like a true gambler. I'm not a gambler. Apologies. I am not a true gambler. We're going with standard again. You picked standard. Enjoy the mystery. Sprinting my ass in. Hello, teeps. Disable tutorials. You can turn them back on in settings. I don't remember how to play this game. So I'm gonna keep the tutorials on. First question's an easy one. Who's your senator? Nothings. Piece of shit's still trying to lie to our faces. Athings is our senator, man. What, still? Shit. Hey, wake up! Ugh. From the top, I guess. Ugh. What is your name? Ikari... What year is it? You want them because they added new mechanics? See, that's what I figured. 2086. What did he say last time? 2027? Maybe this stuff's finally working. Dog does know how to shake. You can go Again in the head. One thing I said. One thing I asked. Anywhere but the head. Not my fault he's got a punchable face. So he calibrated yet or what? No. Well, we're as close as we're gonna get with equipment this old. You want to get to the real questions, or does he need more softening up? I just said, I won't soften him up in the head. How about it? You still with us, Hound? You're gonna feel a migraine hit you like a tram in a few seconds. Do me a favor and hold on to the pain. I love giving my interrogation targets concussions so they can't remember anything. I love giving interrogation targets brain damage. It's so helpful when you want to learn things from them. Let go, and the Barbitocin will drop you like an anchor. Don't want you a vegetable, right? Yeah, that's the spirit. Knew you were a fighter. Question 1. Do you know why you're here? Because you were too spooked to do this over a line? Can I become a carrot? What, you want to be hunted by rabbits? I'm always the right amount of spooked, Red. When I tell you there's heat, I mean it. I know, and I always listen. See? Breathable layers! God damn it. You laughed. Doesn't mean I conceded the point. You're lighter. You memorized them out? Trip the fuck out? She's ready to go jogging. You kept it pretty vague, but yeah. I think I got the gist of it. You're that worried about a paper trail? Proactive Analytics just won a state contract for new trawling algorithms that can de-anon an entire city block's crumbs in less than an hour. For Little Mask. Very important. I assume... Oh, IoT. Internet of Things. Right, yeah. From small packets of data containing your own identity. Yeah, they're cookies. See where you've been so you can see where you should go. Want to start leaving crumbs right away? Don't worry, crumbs are enabled by default. Didn't you read the financial section today? Internet of Tits. Well, that's what it is already. I'm more of a Sudoku gal. We can't all be as well read as Renard Diamani. That probably should have been an Italian accent. I always go French when I'm being, like, when I'm going, like, what is it? I can't remember what it is. When you think you're better than someone else, what is it? Starts with a P. Can't remember. I know words. Posh? No. Pretentious. Pretentious is what I was going for. I'm sending you the links. Read them. And the rest of the news, too. Proposition 492 is going to be on the ballot this year. You shouldn't vote on it blindly. For a guy who makes the majority of his living operating outside the law, you sure take your civic duties seriously. Information brokering isn't illegal. What people choose to do with my advice? Do you declare the income for it on your taxes? Yeah, that's the face I expected. Sorry. I promise to take a look at what you sent over. Ballot props. With elections coming up, a number of measures related to infrastructure, public works, and funding for city programs will be on the ballot soon. Read on to get an overview of some of the most hotly anticipated issues you'll be able to vote on in the coming months. Petition for City Council to commission cost analysis on public schooling. You think I vote in this dystopia futurescape? It's like, I mean, they're not gonna, like, why not buy any votes necessary? Look at that picture of Malcolm X where it's edited. So he's just holding a ballot. For the this is long. God damn. Okay. Let's just read the highlighted stuff. All education has been handled. Read it all? Okay, I can do that. I'm a responsible voter. Kind of a bummer to come in on this. Why is that? For the last several decades, all education has been handled through private institutions typically associated with one or more corporate benefactors. While this has eased the expense of childcare and pre-university education for many families, some citizens regularly voice concern over children being treated as customers first and students second. There are several schools throughout the city that accept students at no cost to their parents, but those are reliant on government subsidies, introducing the potential for waste and corruption. I read the real ones, isn't that enough? Well, this has to do with the story, so I want to learn it. I read the real ones also. But these are, like, interesting instead of just being like, oh, they're trying to fuck everybody over again. Introduce waste and corruption, and generally seen as subpar environments for learning. If enough voters say aye to this position, City Council will commission a study to evaluate the cost and feasibility of reintroducing direct public schooling to the city. Direct public schooling? What does that mean? All education has been privatized like healthcare. Yeah. But there are schools that are specifically funded by the government. Or I guess they're subsidized by the government. So this is voting on, like, whether or not they should try to figure out if government-run schools are like feasible again. Either way, I'm going to vote for a scientific study to be, like, done, because that is just, I would like to know more things. I would like people to make more informed choices. Funding of Atlas Pillar Rejuvenation Projects. Also, I love that all of these bills, to give them the funding, can not literally be the bare minimum. Yeah. I also like that all the bills are sponsored by fucking... they're sponsored by companies instead of, like, instead of representatives. Voting aye on this measure will direct City Council to fund the renovation and reinforcement of multiple Atlas pillars around the lower wards, paid for by a % increase in sales tax within city limits. How's all the public transports okay? Measure is generally viewed favorably by representatives from the lower wards who acknowledge that the necessary construction will be disruptive, but point to language in the proposition that guarantees easing of zoning restrictions around the pillars is vital to reducing unemployment in the target regions. Somewhat more honest. Yeah. Previous comparable proposals that renovated city pillars north of the park have been touted as successful examples. Studies have shown that poverty is down and citizen satisfaction is up. Councilmember ranking uptown discounts voted skeptics and economic benefits argued against the architectural reality of the campaign. Okay, so this does need to be voted aye. This is another aye. Which exactly if the city's older Atlas pillars will be targeted for this rejuvenation have yet to be disclosed. Past experience has shown that due to the nature of the vertically integrated real estate. Ahem, streamer? What am I missing? Property values in the lower wards can either skyrocket or even drop into the negatives based on which pillars are rejuvenated. Cities weren't disrupting the real estate. Fuck the real estate market. So this is another aye. We don't want the city to collect. Where is my meowing? Did you redeem meow? You didn't even redeem meow. You want me to meow for free? Yes, you did. It's not in the chat log. It's fully not here. Like, I scrolled up to look. They literally did? What? How come this is not being told to me, the person who should know if it's being redeemed? What? How come I can't see this? I need to see this to know. What? Give me a sec. I need to actually figure out. I need to see the redeems. Like, that's important. Combos. What the fuck is that? Review recent review requests. Unban requests. Font size. You hate me. I don't. Deleted messages, brief, scroll only, chat highlights. Why can I not see redeems? I need to see redeems. I don't know how. Why would it not show me a redeem? Uplink also redeemed Hydrate and Unshrunk. What the fuck? Why is it not showing me redeems now? Okay, fine. I'll just have to open my own channel on Twitch and then fix this later, I guess. So I can actually... I'll have to open this so I can actually see my fucking redeems. Because I can't verify redeems if I can't see that they've been redeemed. OBS? What the hell? I want to try and redeem something and see if it pops up. See, that showed up on my screen. Well, if I don't do something, just yell at me, I guess. Because that showed up. Bean launderer. I'm giving you these beans for free. I can't guarantee that this chat even works. Yeah, okay, so I can see them on the activity feed on Twitch. But that's it. We'll just kill you. We're killing you. Maybe I need to dock an activity feed somewhere? Which activity feed? Yes. Pop that. Just throw that right over here. Okay. So now I have an activity feed in here. Okay. And I'm unshrimping, and I'm gonna drink a beverage. This episode is so good, and I'm still not done. Well, I'm gonna finish before you. Anyway. Before I was rudely interrupted by my chat not telling me that there were redeems for some reason. Okay. Older pillars, yeah, okay. Renaming Atlas pillars to honor local community figures. Who fucking cares? Rename Atlas pillars on local leaders and national figures. I've been playing all day and this is my second... I mean, I certainly don't think I'm actually going to, like, beat you to it. Mostly because I only play on specific days. Okay. System where pillars are given alphanumerical designation based on the streets they're built on top of. Few members of city sounds explicitly for or against this measure of general support among the citizenry. There's some questions about Atlas was a really internal name for the super infrastructure constructs. Not just moniker being rooted itself in the constructs. Described as private as an ominous ring to it. Who cares? I don't fucking care. This, I don't care how we vote. So I want I on 492 1A and 436 2D. This one doesn't fucking matter. Should we reinforce this Sector 7 pillar or not? Aye or nay? Well, I'm not voting aye unless we name it the Jeremy pillar. There's no way to remember these at all. Oh, definitely not. I'll just remember that they're being voted on, and then I'll try to remember what the numbers are and fuck it up real bad. But I like to pretend that I'm gonna remember things. Measure for victims of acid snow. I assume people are just gonna ask about props. I'm not gonna have to look them up. Acid snow incidents since predominantly former of the collective. You can pull them up at any time. Yeah, that's what I figured. Forefront of the public conscious followed a grave fall documentary prepared early this year, previously underreported on. While the industrial accident did not create snow and did not in fact add acid to the atmosphere, eyewitness accounts of the scarring children received the early morning nearly 2 decades ago as they played in what they thought was an unreasonable snowfall have spurred public outcry. If this proposition receives enough eyes in the ballot box, the city will commission a full investigation of the victims of the incident, including the assessment of the damages for what could be done one day be a public fund for medical treatment. That sounds good. Critics of the proposition agree that after 20 years, few of the victims will still be residents of the city, assuming they can be found at all. Others point to the state lawsuit Gendo Chemicals suffered 15 years ago as sufficient compensation for the victims. It was one of the conditions of that settlement. Gendo did not admit any fault or wrongdoing on part of the corporate leadership. I mean, that sounds good. These all sound like fine to vote aye on. The last two seem less important. Which one of these is the one that I like? Fucking... I know there's something here that's just like, did you read this properly? Let's check your knowledge. Ugh, how can you be this calm? A chance like this doesn't come around, well, ever. Frankly, I'm still surprised they were willing to put up the funds it took to commission this thing. What do you think changed? Nothing ever changes in the lower wards, is what I would say if I was feeling dramatic. Heartbreak made organized crime look like a bunch of cowards hiding under rocks, is what I would say if I was feeling comedic. Don't joke about heartbreak before sending a woman off to the lower wards by herself. Because you're such a delicate flower in need of protection. Oh, we got something added to her profile. Favorite for the funny-looking red ones, like Chorus Radiata. Oh, fucking spider lilies? Fucking great choice. Plays Blackjack, Texas Hold'em, CeeLo, Mahjong, E-Card. I don't know what CeeLo or E-Card are. Likes Power Washers, Lamb Chops, and Prime Numbers. This bitch is autistic as fuck. Holy crap. Eggs fried and runny. AB negative. I still have criminal. Defense attorney. Real. CeeLo is a dice game. Oh. I figured it was some kind of gambling game. How about you start feeling analytic and give me a real answer? Fine. In my humble opinion, the Rust made the first move. She fucking loves gambling. Oh yeah, for sure. Demand for their products has gone up, so they set to work with their syringes and cleavers and vans. Mobile chop shops hunting for product to fill the supply gap. Balatro would fix her. I think she would get unreasonably angry at Balatro. You throw 3 into a pot, and depending on what you roll, you win or lose based on bets made before all players throw. Okay. Supply gap. You can't spit without landing on a Vitruvian clinic. How's the biggest it's ever been? What mods aren't being printed to demand? Mods are just, yeah. Body mods. Can you return mods? Can you undo mod surgery? Best reviewed neural implants? It's replacement parts, not the mods that the Rust harvest. Vitruvian, Hal, and the others aren't interested in helping you fix a faulty pump. They just want to sell you a whole new model. The Rust might not always be pretty to look at, but even law-abiding citizens will gladly swallow their distaste for a discount that steep. A lot of modders are veterans, not easy prey. Correct. Hence, Rust stockpiling weapons, and in response, the blue bloods sensing escalation. That's just my hypothesis. Rust are basically the super freaks from Cyberpunk. I mean, they're just reselling, like... They're just reselling old, discarded mods, right? Domestic critical organization. Racketeering operations. Necessity rather than particular shared value. Broad powers granted for state law enforcement to address civil unrest. They're all chromed up. These chooms are chewing chrome. Let's see, virtually all their members could be detained indefinitely if one or more members were suspected of racketeering. Under new laws that classified gang activity as terrorism. While Rust has evolved since its chaotic initial formation, the spirit of it lives on a highly diverse culture of Rust component cells. Law enforcement officials disagree on whether the Rust meets definition of a criminal organization. Operating completely independently of one another. Shadow the cave wall. Rust is known for black operations and illegal, illicitly sourced mods, offering military-grade or foreign-produced mods to civilians. Oh, and they are fully stealing mods off of people who are alive. You're thinking of the Maelstroms? Yeah. What's the fucking thing? It's just like... It's like... druggies snort drugs. Brick snorts chrome. Filming ICE, police, or the FBI is now domestic terrorism. Yeah, that tracks. Historically, the Rust has been associated with elevated levels of gang violence, earning themselves a fearsome reputation that has unfortunately limited their ability to assimilate themselves into other segments of society. However, in People v. Harmonique systems, the state alleged that Harmonique had, on numerous occasions, employed the Rust as a kind of extra-legal mercenary force when presuming aggressive market negotiations. Yeah, so there are a gang that rips fucking mods off people and then resells them. And also sells, like, military-grade shit to civilians. Got it. If I ever get pulled into an alley and wake up missing a kidney, we'll call it a formal theory. It's not like we're talking about a weapon of mass destruction. What makes the Blues think they can win a gang war with it? Maybe they found the right soldier to wield it. The idea lingers in the air for a moment as I gaze out the window. Windows and neon and advertisements galore float up past us like bubbles of air as we make our descent. Also, you know what I found out? Basically, if you set, you can set the game length in Shadows of Doubt between very short and very long, and each tier not only requires you to hit a higher level to retire, but also to fill in the space between those levels, it adds different perks that I did not know about. So I started a very long playthrough, and I'm only on level 6, and I can go into echelon areas, and I still have like half the levels to go before I can theoretically retire. So I'm very, very interested in what sort of perks you get later on. Also, I did attack a lone shark with a katana. What's the girl kisser perk called? Chez le femme. You should know that. Down into our beautiful city's scenic lower wards. How's the part go again? Through me, the way to the city of woe. Through me to the eternal dole. Through me, the way among the lost. Inferno. Canto 3. Welcome to the underworld, Dante. Sometimes hot, sometimes misty, sometimes choking with poison. Always dark. Oh shit, I love Limbus Company. Look, I read Dante's Divine Comedy. It's a solid poem. And it's actually really funny sometimes. Mostly right at the beginning, it's really funny. Because he's just like, all these politicians I hate are being eaten alive by like, centipedes. All of it? Yeah. I have a copy lying around somewhere. Is that the official forecast? More accurate than whatever's on your phone. Between the skyscrapers, the generators, the turbines, and the canopy, every city block's got its own climate down here. I only read Inferno. I mean, that's what most people read. Inferno is the interesting part. The Divine Comedy, once you get past the, get past Inferno and he, like, leaves hell and starts ascending heaven, it's just a bunch of kind of, like, it's kind of just, like, a bunch of, like, oh, heaven is so epic. Here are all the people I like, and they're in heaven. User was milked for this post. But did you ever play the game? No, I did not fucking play Dante's Inferno, the fucking God of War-like. 9 circles of fresh hell. If you get the reference, say something. Don't make me feel crazy for 5 minutes so you can feel smart for 5 seconds. The smog of the lower wards lingers on your skin long after you make the climb back out. This place clings to you. Unwanted, cloying attachment. But there's an honesty to all human interaction down here that makes it trivial for me to navigate. The final boss is Satan with his dick flopping around. It's so funny. You're telling me he's not even, like, waist up frozen in a lake? Fucking come on. Sorry I couldn't get you anything else to work with. It was short notice. I know better than to bet against you by now, Red. But still. It's sweet of you to worry. But this is a surefire thing. Spoken like a true addict. He wasn't in Persona either. I don't care what Satan looks like in Persona. Because Persona didn't name itself, hey, this is the game that's named after, fucking Dante's Inferno. So all of my depictions should be similar, at least, to the depictions in Inferno. Like, I don't care how any other thing depicts Satan. If you're basing your thing off of an ancient poem that, like, everybody has heard of, You should fucking, like, actually base it on that. He is when you get there, but you can't 1v1 him character actions out if he didn't turn into a 9-foot dude with goat legs and his cock out. Oh, okay. Well, if he starts frozen in the lake, then that's fine. I mean it. I'm here for business, not pleasure. I don't plan on leaving anything to chance. Yeah, right, Morgan. Jesus Christ. The gambler says she's not going to leave anything to chance. I really should remove that Twitter link. I don't go on Twitter anymore. And I should add a fucking... Avoid the populated streets. Turn away from brightly lit spots. But yeah, no, I should replace that Twitter link with a Blue Sky link for sure. That's also the whole thing with most pro gamblers. Like they like understand the chances and they make it so that they can't lose. Follow the trail of graffiti and broken cameras, past food stands and steam vents, down the rabbit hole. You should replace it with your Tumblr twice. Now there's an idea. Sounds more complicated than it actually is in practice. It's easy to end up on the wrong side of town as long as you're trying to. Reynaud's map narrowed the search to a lot more than I expected, but I'll be on my own from here on out. Gotta be one of these 3 buildings. So let's go over to what I know. I'm looking for a base of operations for a mid-tier kind of pod. Rougher than a storefront, not as fortified as a headquarters. A location that makes customers feel safe, not trapped. Of course, if I just start knocking on doors, they'll probably find me. Replace it with your Dynasty Scans account. That would be sick. That would really be telling people what I'm about. I don't have a Dynasty Scans account, though. But if I want to be smart about this, I better use all my senses. Whoa. I forgot how loud this is. Examine, scope out, check. You just replace it with a link to Bloom Into You. That would be awesome. It's like, hey, fucking read this. The windows are all dark, like no one's home. But they're all shut, too. So it could be that they're just tinted. Alley's clear. Fire escape's still there for the most part. Could pass for an alternate exit if need be. And that door looks sturdy enough to bounce a bullet off. Someone's been renovating. Well, this place looks like shit. Looks more like a haunt just dry enough for users to pass out in more than anything else. It's plenty inconspicuous, but a dealer of the level I'm looking for would be considered a made man. Respectable. I doubt they'd be willing to have to step over trash constantly just to keep a low profile. A bit cleaner than the other buildings around here. Could be someone spending money on upkeep. Maybe this one's just been torn down and rebuilt the least. There are a couple bodies lingering around outside it. Nice shit den, fucker. They don't exactly have that organized criminal associate edge. Orca. Organized criminal associate is the label most widely used within law enforcement for individuals who are members of criminal organizations. It's a planting terminology used during the first half of the 21st century, in accordance with changes to the organization of, recruitment for, and internal culture within organized crime. Frequently abbreviated with some artistic liberty as orcs or the more common orcas, law enforcement professionals often use related nomenclature when discussing organized criminal activity in informal settings. For example, an orca may also be referred to as a killer whale, kale, or KW. A group of orcas may be called a pod, while a gathering place may be labeled a den. But that doesn't necessarily mean anything. A lot of pods will pay civilians good money just to keep their eyes open. It's certainly dark, but there's a camera out front, and it's not broken. Overall, it's probably just some mechanic garage that shuts down the power to save money at night. You just read it like a dork. Of course I read it! Okay, might as well pull the trigger. Dingy, but not a shithole. Some secure features, but the paint's not too shiny. Goldilocks takes it. This is my best bet. But why? Why do I feel like I'm being watched? She is a dork. I can't deny this. If I did, I would be lying, and that would be cruel and mean of me. Hello? Six scarf kid? You read books too, I bet? Oh yeah, I do. Hey! Great acting. You're supposed to be the lookout? Red Hood. What'd you say? People come down here to be anonymous, or the closest thing to it in the modern day. Considered poor etiquette to stare at anyone for more than a moment. It's faux pas to make an effort to remember someone. Commenting on another's dress isn't a slap to the face, but it is odd. Go away? At least they can take direction. Whatever, a lookout being around just confirms that I've picked the right building. Time to try the door. What'll make them open up? Call, money, knock. I feel like money is probably a way to get yourself, like, noticed. So we pass on that. I just knock? No answer. Have I tried knocking in a pattern? Shave and a haircut. No, that would be silly. Hey! You open? Maybe not for me. Fine. I have money. Actually, I have a dark card. That should have provoked a reaction. A grunt, footsteps, something. What did she just say 10 seconds ago about knocking? Nobody actually knows. I place my hand against the door absent-mindedly, ready to move to plan B. And I feel movement. Locks being checked, perhaps a doorknob palmed? Anxiety and curiosity pit against one another by an onlooking greed. How do you enter a closed room? First, you try pushing. When that doesn't work, naturally, you... Forget it. I'll find some other... No need for master keys or any other trickery. If you know what you're doing, doors will open for you. Like magic. The door's not the only thing that's been reinforced around here. This apartment building? Motel? Whatever it used to be. Someone's made a lot of effort to file it down. Hallways blocked off with chicken wire and stripped furniture, access panels ripped out, doors welded shut. They took a maze and ground it down to a one-way street. Maybe a shooting gallery. With blaring musical accompaniment. Don't get any ideas, got no vacancy. And here I thought I'd found my dream home, Mr. Call me Trey. And too bad, we're closed this month. Wait, you're serious? You rent these out? Of course we do. This is a business. Right, and you, see a lot of demand? This is the lower wards, bitch. He sized the word with... Oh, sorry. This is the lower wards, bitch. He sized the word without emphasis, like a subconscious honorific. I'm not honored, but I can't find it myself to be offended either. Tons of stray ducks will pay top for a site to lay low a night or two. I can see why. This is the hallway. The rooms are clean. Say it like Jesse. Bitch. Yeah, bitch. Sure. Look, the doors are heavy, the locks are all physical, and it's quiet. This is a safe house for rent. Safe rooms for rent. But like I said, we're not open for business right now. Curious. Come on, up the stairs already. And no mask when we get up there. And curiouser. A good mask is like a good pair of boots in the lower wards. Keeps you clean, keeps you moving, makes your journey a dozen times more comfortable. And if you leave the house barefoot, you can expect to bring back something unsavory attached to you. I forgot full capacity yippee was an emote. Yippee! Yeah, there it is! Yippee! Wahoo! It's not odd for him to be barefaced, but demanding that I not wear mine is Seriously, stuff it in your pocket. Now. Sure. Yeah, I'm here to deal with you, so... I guess I have to agree to your terms. Unless I deflect! Yeah, I'm gonna deflect. Forgot I was wearing it. Why so nervous, though? We're not. I mean, I ain't nervous. Nothing to worry about, then. Yeah, but you need to lose the gloves, too. But that's their game. This isn't a power move, it's insurance. If this place ever gets busted, evidence of my visit will be all over the place. See, that makes sense. They're giving their customers extra incentive to make sure this shithole remains a hidden gem. A reasonable idea on their part, but it doesn't change my answer. Oh, okay. That's not happening. Bitch. Whatever. Have fun explaining to the boss why you can't follow basic instructions. That does sound fun. Watch it. You're a guest here. A guest? I'm a paying customer. And if you try to get me to remove any more articles of clothing, I'm leaving a scathing review. You haven't paid yet. Come on. Right behind you. I love her. Yeah. Through here? Yeah. Hey, I'll get the door. Ah! Oh, I love this one. Howdy! Where the hell did you find her? Must have fallen out the canopy like ripe as shit fruit. Sick hand. Gangster Miku. Strung out Miku. Because if she didn't fall out of the damn sky, that'd mean Trey opened the door for her. Right, Trey. Tanks, come on, Tanks, huh? Oh my god. 191 centimeters. Oh my god, that's enormous. Let's see. Handyman. Heroin Miku. Parkour spray paint, stainless steel. Dislikes beer canes, water stains, and cops. 2 arrests, no charges pressed. Grand theft, 3 arrests, 2 convictions. Incarceration, 18 months. In juvie. Freelancer, vending machines, skate carts, ice chip, rich kids, fry foods, cop. No incidents on record. Okay. How hard is it to not open a goddamn door? Well, she has... Shut up. Nice pompadour. The others aren't fazed by his volume. This is normal. The big guy's always like this. But his outburst is giving me a moment to take in the scenic view. You might guess that none of these dudes like cops. That's shocking. How could you possibly pick that out? Brings a tear to the eye. You. Me. Who else? Hit that. A cigarette. It's laced with drugs. Or don't. I'd love an excuse to kick your ass back down those stairs. They think I'm a cop? They think I'm a cop and cops can't use drugs while undercover? I could quote them the exact law that invalidates this legal defense, but I gather that wouldn't assuage their concerns. Well, what's it gonna be? Pass. That was in your mouth, man. What? Sorry, it's not that you're bad looking, it's just certified devilman moment. I know! That's the only thing I've seen from this episode so far. People have been great about not spoiling it. But I have seen this is like the cigarette laced with drugs moment. Trey! Who the hell is this red bitch? You trying to jinx us? She's a customer. I know she's a customer. We get customers every other day of the goddamn year. Why'd you have to bring her in here tonight? There we go. This is it. I found the place. Well, Creek, she's got... Please tell me they redrew it with Morgan. Oh yeah, they did. Look at me. Don't talk to Creek. Talk to me. She's got a dark card. I smoked that shit. Look, I don't know what drugs are in there. I don't care that it's drugs. I care that I don't know what drugs are in it. I ran the cereal downstairs. Scanner got hot like a hand warmer trying to crunch it, so... It's legit, right? Dark card, huh? So this is Creek. Normal Creek. 178, entrepreneur, making money, making friends. Dislikes doctors. Case dismissed due to lack of... Case dismissed due to witness recanting. I see. And any pronouns, intimidation type guy. None, it's just a shitty, cheap cigarette. Well, apparently it's laced with drugs. I nod. Hard not to start playing a little more conservatively once you know the stakes. Whatever the specifics of their leadership structure, they're all looking to this Creek right now. But I don't know his rhythm yet, so I can't exactly match it. For the moment, silence is golden. Yeah, but tonight, Creek? With all the other shit we're expected to shovel? Hey, should make talk like that in front of the customer. Customer. You think that word was old toothpaste the way he spat it out? Translation. Outsider. HRT will make them super. Thanks. Yeah, Miller. I know. Tradesman. Likes horror films, bubblegum, terrariums. I could have told you this person likes horror films immediately. Dislikes bookies, gin, and cops. 4 arrests, 4 convictions. Vandalism, extortion, and litter. And no littering. Not littering. I respect it. All the more reason we should tell this bitch to get slagged. Look, she's here now. So why not take her money? Know what? I got a better idea. A name like a Heavens, and you're gonna go by Miller. The loud one. Tanks is pressing a barrel directly to my forehead. Why not take her for all she's got? The metal feels cool on my skin. Reminds me of a stethoscope. Breathe in, and try not to sigh at the theatrics. Instead, I make eye contact with Creek. Hey now! You can put that away. He reholstered his firearm without so much as a click of the tongue. Mid-tears, like I thought. They've got something approaching discipline. Just stick your finger in the barrel to stop it from firing. I mean, that would be considered like an act of defiance. And she's not trying to rough the waters right now. But, like, it would work. Mind the safety. Get screwed. So, we good? The baseball bat barring the door. We're good, we're good. We are good, right, Creek? Threading a thin needle, lady. Lot of moving parts neath the surface here. Give me a minute to clear my schedule for you. Make yourself at home in the meantime. Just don't hover, yeah? Of course. You won't even notice I'm here. I do have to examine everything. Did I interrupt the game? What's your poison? 5 card, full blind, Monaco rules? Are those games? We just screw around with whatever we gotta kill time, lady. You know your stuff. You ever play around here? Now and then. The hell? You go slumming for card games? Now and then. Have I seen you at a game before? Maybe up by the 30s? Sorry, must have been some other redhead. Damn, thought I finally got my second chance at getting that beauty's contacts. Do you practice that one a lot? Practice it a little. How's it working? We were balls deep in an intense match of Go Fish. Also, I just love the look on this person's face when it's just like, you come down here to play card games? It's like, yeah, high stakes Yu-Gi-Oh, bitch. You want to go to the Shadow Realm? Keep practicing. Dick gumshoe type line. You doing inventory out over here? Ouch. Must have caught you on the worst night of the quarter. Quarter? This ain't a Meg operation, lady. We take our inventory daily. Yeah, Meg is Megacorp. Yeah. derogatory and hateful term used to refer to mega corporations. Fuck yeah, it is. Torture. You gonna suggest we put it all down on a spreadsheet, get everyone to sign off every hour? We got a special name for anything with more than one signature on it. A cricket case. A crico, huh? Batting Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Signal Organizations Act provides for increased law enforcement powers and impunity of investigating, prosecuting. Racketeering, contraband smuggling, okay. RICO Act is the distinction that makes it clear between criminal organizations and corporate. Okay. Post-Crico. Yeah, so it's just saying Crico case is like if you put a bunch of signatures on the same thing that gets caught, you all get caught, which you don't want. He's corrupting the Crico acronym a lot, but his risk assessment isn't misguided. Paperwork brings down more criminal organizations than guns ever will. If you have a half-decent accountant, one thread to pull on, and they can rip apart the mafia in less than a business day. Hey, what'd Creek say? Don't hover. It's only hovering if I'm bothering you. Am I bothering you? If you were bothering me, you'd know it. Anything else to look at? Probably shouldn't check the door. Oh, I fully can't talk. I fully can't talk to him anymore. Pester, talk, or... Okay. You good, buddy? Looking a little sweaty? Oh, well, it's just because I was exercising before you showed up. Uh-huh. Bitch, you don't believe me? How do you think we defend what's ours down here? I assume the gun I was acquainted with just now played a role. Think we can afford to break the bank on bullets? It's easy to buy a gun. Pulling the trigger's also easy. Like kissing it goodbye. We'll rat you out first chance it gets. An aversion of firearms would explain the relatively low fatalities for gang-related violence. Big names can afford to buy a new gun every week, but for everyone beneath them, it comes down to crowbars, clubs, knives, and mods. Well, I'm sure you all do very well in your fistfights. Fistfights is juvie. Sounds like recess shit. Sorry. Fisticuffs? Laugh it up. The first time you hear the sound a steel arm makes caving a skull in, you get exactly how we operate. Right. Sorry. Fisticuff Fridays. What? Nothing. You're just kind of glaring at me. It's my job to glare at suspect bitches like you. Tanks is just superstitious. I wouldn't call it a superstition until it stops keeping you alive. Am not! Did I pass a black cat on my way in or something? It's your clothes. Again? Didn't know your fine establishment had a dress code. They're fucking... Not a code. It's just bad goddamn luck to wear red. Bad luck to see red, man. Same thing. Nah, you see the red hood, then you fear for your life. Cosplaying as her is weird, but it won't doom you. Great, it'll only doom us. I don't think I've heard this particular ghost story, boys. Really? You were blending in so well. The Red Rider Hood? The Shinigami? Grim Reaper of the lower wards? Spot her on a misty night, end up dead by morning light. Come on, Creek, don't start that shit when you don't even believe it. Ruby Rose. Red like roses. Or is it just a pool of blood? Etc, etc. Don't have to believe it when you've heard the rhyme. You've never heard of the Red Rider Hood? Little girl in the fog, big red raincoat? Misted in the crossfire of a shootout between pigs and robbers? Wanders the wards seeking revenge? Misted is just blasted into pieces. Yeah, to shoot or to kill. Bloody spray, yeah. No, never. Thought even uptowners knew this stuff. You didn't tell me you never heard of the Cyberpunk? Or the Little Lord next? I know the Cyberpunk, that's from Cyberpunk. The Cyberpunk is a counterculture, yeah. Singular cyberpunk, 21st century man without a name, wander with their own rule of law. Yeah. And every game that you play, like every video game you play while you're playing a person who is fighting against corporate, like, tyranny in a cyberpunk world, you essentially become the cyberpunk. Basically, if you could describe yourself as, like, the Lone Ranger, but in the future, you're a cyberpunk. You've never heard of Jackie Golden Fist, man? The guy who will Golden Fist you until you're golden dead? From the fist? Guess I don't have a good ear for that kind of thing. Maybe you're just not as smart as you think you are. Says the grown man sweating because of a ghost story. How about I take extra care not to walk under any ladders for the rest of the night and we call it even? Walk under any... Where would you even find it? Oh, did you mean step... Did you mean step ladder? Jesus Christ. Now who's afraid? You look pale as spit. Because for some reason, I just got the horrible feeling I just lost a bet. I guess I'm just looking at the door. The door's nearly as sturdy as the one out front, but a lot more slapped together. What was it originally? That a walk-in freezer or something? What? No, we had an agreement about hovering. Yeah? Music cut. Look directly at the camera for 1 second. Continue dialogue. Yeah. It's barred from this side. Alright, come here. Pull up a chair. Let me ask you something before we get started. What was your first job? Waitress? Waitress. You remember this feeling? 9 p.m., diners filter out, doors close at 10. Y'all start turning off the grills, taking out the trash, settling down. And then some mouth breather comes in 9:40 with big blank eyes expecting you to find him a table. Yeah. Yeah. Asshole behavior, not breaking any rules, can't arrest him, can't shoot the guy. Even if you wanted to. So, related note. You're here to buy. A paying customer. Happy to have you. Just read the room, okay? Sure. And no haggling. Now what are you here for? Well, can't be honest about that. Time to build a story. Look at the lady who walked into the store yesterday at 10:56 when we close at 11. Yeah. This Creek seems less high-strung than the others. He must have a few years and a couple promotions under his belt. He might be on the 3rd floor at the moment, but in spirit he's still on the street, earning. You know, Morgan, it says that you can use any pronouns for Creek. Actually, let's check all these pronouns. Miller... No pronoun section. Morgan... Actually, I guess Creek is the only one that that has a pronoun section. Because that's just how laid back Creek is. Creek doesn't give a fuck about pronouns. Everyone above him is in more managerial positions. He's in between crowds, isolated. And he seemed entertained by my poke at the big guy. Putting that all together, I'm not actually here for myself. Truth is, I can't hear anything over the damn screen. I grab the remote sitting on the edge of the desk and turn off the screen. That's better. The hell you do that for? It was too loud. We like it loud. Screws with bugs and wires and cops. Are you a cop? Even at that volume could damage your ears. You'd end up yelling all the time. Relax, Tanks. Like I was saying, I'm actually here for someone else. My boss, to tell you the truth. Creek refers to Creek as Creek, like Kuno. Creek just wants to know what fucking drugs you want to buy here. What sort of mods do you want to get off of Creek? That sucks. Does the regional manager want a maid to do order heart attack at his retirement party or something? You're not that far off. His son's turning 18 and he wants a party. An organic party. How's that supposed to mean? Hell if I know. But coworker let slip that I smoked a few times in college. My boss goes and hands me his dark card, slaps me on the rear, and sends me down here. Told me to get everything his son needs for the best graduation ever. That's rough. Pretty lady like yourself shouldn't be stuck running errands at this hour. Not in this part of the city. It's not safe. Speaking of which, Miller, stand up, raise your hands. I oblige, but the lanky one keeps staring at me oddly, looking me up and down. I assume they're using some kind of, like, X-ray specs tech. I love this face so much. It's not complimentary. He's searching for something. See, normally I would never be this poor of a host to such a nice customer, but... bosses, right? Yeah. Mine have been real micromanaging lately. Her ass is fat as fuck, boss. It's like, yeah, I knew it. It's kind of becoming a problem. So, we're taking a little more care around new faces. Tucked inside her jacket around the left pocket. His eyes aren't modded. Did I give it away with my body? Oh, so he actually doesn't have modded eyes. He's just very observant. Something you want to share with the class? Forgot I had that, maybe? Yes, I have a knife on me. Should I have declared that on my papers? Would have been the polite thing to do, yeah. Sorry for the poor manners. But a pretty lady like me in this part of town, guess I was just being careful around new faces. Alright. You're letting her keep it? I got you here to protect us. And it's also like, you have a gun. I know shooting a gun isn't ideal, but you also have those fucking fists. If she swings the knife at you, just catch it and snap it in half. Have to wonder, though. Why'd a high-power corporate mover shaker come in person? Why come to us? Why not go cross the skywalk over the nearest Icaria-owned dispensary? Cagey tonight, aren't we, boys? What are they so suspicious for? And who are the Icaria? The name sounds vaguely familiar, but... well, I can read between the lines. They're the competition. So if these blue bloods are being cautious around a paying customer, I can't shame them over... okay, so these are blue bloods. Criminal organization known as the Blue Bloods, International Corporation. Yeah, because they're just selling drugs. They're not doing mods. I guess they are kind of all like in the cool tone, like outfit wise, and he's wearing all blue tattoo. I mean, sure, everyone knows the Icaria have taken the lion's share of the city. I just didn't realize they had a monopoly, too. Hey, get it straight. The Icaria won't be on top anymore once we... Never mind. Can we not do business? No one said that. So what'll it be? Well, I don't want any of these kids choking on their own foam. Even if it'd be funny to watch. I figured I'd just buy a bunch of downers and maybe a handful of uppers. Let half of them get off high off the atmosphere. Downers, huh? We got the new titration of lime. Lasts for hours. Yeah, they can stir it into their watered-down beers. Wait, new titration? No one's gonna shit themselves, are they? No. Not until the morning, at least. Alright, well, I can live with that. What do you got on the other end? Got plenty, long as you don't mind hippos. Hypodermics. I feel like these baby shark types would get nervous around needles. You got anything they can inhale? Well, got a lot of nerve. Fast bump, high plateau, and smooth ride down. Our bestseller. Sounds great. Unfortunately, it's in high demand, so... oh, they're gonna fucking, like, take me for a ride for Nirvana. Metahexafentanil is an illegal stimulant sold in black markets recreational drug under the street name Nirvana. Euphoriant with mild hallucinogenic properties. I mean, that sounds kind of fun. Growing popularity has led to many suspects. The drug has been assessed for legalization by the Bureau of Narcotics Oversight. I see, yeah, that makes sense. Relative obscurity of said person. Yeah, and then it's just like it's... yeah. Made the uptake particularly unnoticeable, and supply has not been able to keep up with this elevated demand. Okay. I get that he's selling me drugs, but does he really have to sell me drugs? Hey, it's not my card anyway. You buy it and he hands you a printout of the Valhalla sequel stream page. I'm like, fuck yes! Is it out? Is it finally out? Charge it. Gladly. Typing away at his tablet like this, he almost looks white collar. It checks out, right? The cereal's legit, so... Yeah, man. You already said that. It's encrypted, Trey. It's not meant to be a one-tap purchase. Dark card. The gold standard of untraceable fund transfer among the criminal and financial elite. Your average citizen wouldn't recognize it as anything special. Looks like any other credit or debit card. Only reason I recognize it is because they got flashed all the time back at my apprenticeship. Mostly for drawing lines, but sometimes for purchasing. Hard to convert the funds back into cash, but if you want to buy or sell on the black market, you couldn't ask for better. So what the hell is going on? I'm dangling some very enticing bait here. An amenable mark, spending money that's not her own. They should be salivating over me. Instead, they're practically x-raying me. Why? The fucking katana. Interesting decor. Finally, someone notices. It's nice, right? It's called cherrywood. Redid the paint myself with a finish I had imported. It's a nice piece of furniture, Creek. But I was referring to your paperweight. That's the Yamato. Cheap piece of shit. He's like he swings, it just explodes. Hmm? Oh, yeah, that. You like it? Yes? Sure. It has a certain rustic simplicity, though it's not exactly gleaming. Have you considered giving it a polish? He opens a portal like Virgil. I mean, you put a trilby on this guy, and he could be close to DMC Devil May Cry Virgil. That'd be a crime. Oh? Polishing off the battle scars from a hard-won prize. Prize? It's not yours? I assume he got it off the Icaria. Something I picked up on the job. A masculine voice, muffled, possibly gagged, and stifled as if pained. Seems like I'm not their only guest tonight. Really wish you'd left the music on, lady. Did you know they patched the trilby out of the definitive edition because people kept shitting on it? Yeah, I did. Sorry, you say something? I completely spaced out just now. Didn't hear a word you said. Okay. That's okay. I didn't say anything. Guess you aren't so stupid you can't even mind your own business. Speaking of my business, how are we looking? The card's still processing. Sorry about that. Guess it'd take time to stake a wire through enough pinholes that even the almighty state can't track it. Takes power, too. Apparently. Battery's plummeting. Ugh. Dark card. Almost more trouble than it's worth. Definitely didn't do its previous owner any good. Before I palmed it off his corpse. Your boss must be a careful guy, delegating you to come down here with this. Yeah, maybe. Not very smart, though. He has no idea what any of this shit costs. Ah. If I treat myself after I finish here, it's not like he'd ever know the difference. Good on you, ripping off the bastard. A woman after my own heart. There it is. Now I just need 2 thumbs and a password for verification. We're golden. There a problem? Yeah, is there a problem? No, no problem. Sorry, it's just something I heard. And what's that? That the Blue Bloods has gotten something special in recently. She's so cute. Real. Can't trust everything you hear out there. Or read. Or see. No, of course not. But is it true? No, Mask? Like the man said, you gotta be careful what stories you listen to. Come on, what could it even cost? A couple thousand? I wouldn't know. I'm no art appraiser. But I do know that it's rare. Fun fact, no means talent. But I don't think that translation does it justice. Less than a dozen people on the planet who can make them. What's so special about it? I mean, them, if they exist, which they, don't. If you want a mask, you already got one on your chin, lady. State puts up cameras, we put on masks. State adds layered scans, we wear helmets. High-tech climbs higher, low-tech punches lower. Back and forth, up the escalators. But a no mask's got tech that can't be answered. Scissors sharp enough to cut rock. Anti-facial recognition fractalized active defense. Any camera, scanner, or ad looks at that mask, they'll see a face, within a face, within a face, within a face, until fatal error. Forget hiding from cameras, searching for blind spots. With a no mask, you'd just walk down the busiest street in the city. Translated literally as ability is a world-renowned form of Japanese dance. Yeah. Strictly regulated by the Iamoto system, in which a single inherits all authority. Words where archetypal costumes and masks and must contain information through. Okay, I thought this was going to talk about, like, the tech. And brick every camera in half a kilometer. You know your stuff. Buyer beware. But if this mask could do half of what you think it could, anyone who got their hands on it wouldn't part with it easily. So how much? More than you can afford, that's for sure. No masks are scary? Nah. I don't know about that. I've got pretty nice stock options. Maybe you do have the money. That's not the issue. I can't sell it. It's already been spoken for. End of discussion. Well, sure, you can't sell something that's been spoken for, but things get misplaced all the time. Delivery characters showing up at wrong address, missing packages ending up in the backs of storage facilities, merchandise falling off the back of the proverbial truck. You weren't sent here on some errand. Shit. What? What is it? Take a long look, boys, because you may never get another chance. We're breathing the same air as a genuine consultant. She's some kind of mega meg spy? If I was, couldn't exactly come out and say, now could I? Oh, shit. Is it really this easy? Yeah, that's real smart talk. Now give me one reason I shouldn't paint your brains on the wall. Because I still haven't paid for my purchase? Definitely got the nerves of a consultant. They teach you that at some fancy uptown corpo school? Or was it something you were born with? Something I was born with? Probably. But believe it or not, I'm glad we're having this conversation. Honesty always speeds up the negotiation. So in the spirit of cooperation, why don't you start being honest too? How's that? You don't want my money, traceable or otherwise. Only reason you'd entertain a customer while in the middle of whatever bottleneck you're keeping behind that door is because I have something rare that you desperately need. Don't assume desperation or need. How about want? You want the dark card account itself, not whatever shitcoin currency it holds. And why is that? To steal from your bosses. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. They're the ones stealing from us. Yes, I'm sure you have a very legitimate grounds for a wage theft suit, but I don't care. Whether it's for running away, skimming off the top, or just as insurance, you want a wallet they don't have eyes on. And since your tall friend hasn't misted me yet, it seems like you're willing to barter for it. So, the card for the mask. Not even close. The card plus 2 quarters worth of my salary. That's nearly. Nah, sister, you don't have the cash for this purchase. And it ain't the kind of thing that you can get a loan from the bank for. I don't like it, but not cash then. Might as well try it. What about information instead? I'm not gonna say it's impossible, but it would have to be one hell of a piece of intel. I could give you heartbreak. What'd she say? Funny. That is funny. Heartbreak, the most famous anarcho-terrorist in the country, at some Meg's beck and call. Upgraded to an anarcho-terrorist now. Ugh. Lots of people were laughing very hard, having shorted the right stocks before each of his kills. Oh, hold up. Seriously? No, why do people buy this conspiracy shit so easily? I don't get the joke. Why would we want heartbreak? To learn from him? Make an example of him? Hire him? You blue bloods have been fighting the Rust, the Ikia, the state, the Ikaria estate, and everyone who wants a peace for decades. Yet heartbreak has gotten more notoriety than all of you combined in only a few months. There's really nothing you'd want to say to him. Nothing you'd want to ask him if he was sitting right in front of you. The following scene contains loud noises, flashes of light, depictions of violence and gore. Hell of a bluff, I'll give you that. Thought it was worth a try. Sorry, just procrastinating having to go back to my superiors empty-handed. Nah, it was good. Good effort. I mean, I'm still interested in the dark card. It's just, that mask is a death sentence crafted specifically for one very special customer. I'm just the one given the honor of hanging on to it until... Sounds like you've got your own office politics to worry about. Getting pulled in every direction. I know the feeling. That was a bunch of drama for nothing. She's gonna buy or what, Creek? Oh, I'm still buying. Not for some kid's party, obviously. Plan is we're gonna spike the competition this meet and greet, make the customer think they're drooling idiots. Mask was always a long shot. I was just personally curious. Curiosity can get you in trouble down here at the bottom of the world. Don't worry. I like to think I know a thing or two about discretion. I can see that. Let's wrap this up then. Your password and your thumbs, please. Sure. I'll just take off my gloves here. Oh, yeah. I make a snap with my right hand as my left extends towards the desk. Viewer discretion advised. Yeah. Real quick, before I forget, do you have a bag for all this? Yeah, I actually got a few of this. The hell? I only needed to distract him for a second. Her fucking little murder face. Less than one heartbeat. I did tell him to mind the safety. The big one made a small noise as he looked down to see his own gun had blown a fist-sized chunk out of his torso. Holy shit! He jumped up fast. I was expecting to blow his head off. From behind, a motion, a shape charging towards me. Spinning left, I draw my knife, exhale, and lower my shoulders. There. A loudly broadcast haymaker swinging in from the right. Bad instinct. Must have gotten used to the sparkers making people flinch. I step in, and his bicep smacks dully onto my shoulder as I place my knife directly into his carotid. He's gripping that knife with all the strength he has left. Wait, is he gonna really try to pull it out? Someone's been stabbed. What do? When applying first aid to a puncture wound, removing the foreign object is not recommended, as this can greatly increase the rate of blood loss. Another bad instinct. So remember how in 1 I was like, man, I wish she killed someone this episode? Yeah, in episode 0 was her kill for episode 1. Oxygen cut off to the brain. Already losing vision. Red. And dropped, with all the grace of a garbage bag hitting the bottom of the dumpster. So that just leaves... Hasn't moved a muscle. Newest member, weakest in the pack. Personally, I wouldn't have given the new guy guard duty, but hindsight's 20/20. The gun's double-barreled, 2 shots, spent. And Miller still has my knife in a literal death grip. I'll have to improvise for this last one. What the hell? Why not? Oh, shit! Though, come to think of it, how do you use this thing? Aim for the bleachers, I guess. Oh, fuck! His due. Episode 2. Barely got 3 centimeters into his neck. Must have hit a vertebra and stopped dead. Still got the job done after a few whacks, but... Well, it was my first time with a sword. I've never been very good at anything the first time. I've always needed lots of practice. Okay, the music should have deadened the sound of the gunfire. Grand slam! And that gun was heavily modified. If it somehow still has tags, it can't possibly be functioning properly. So I've got a window of opportunity. First things first, gloves back on. Shit! Ooh, someone's lively. You... Who the hell? Some kind of mod keeping him alive? The cruelty under his circumstances. I could hear that slug tear his intestines apart. The pain alone should have knocked him out cold, yet his fingers are limp, his eyes sharp, paralyzed. They're rules, I thought. Blood's pulling fast. You got 4 minutes. 4 minutes for what? Everything. You're no mega assassin. You're too talkative. Who sent you? Fox? Gray Lady? All that red should... The Rust's newest rabid dog? Caribou? It's cute how you all give each other nicknames. You're... civilian? Where's the mask? Go to hell! You just looked right at the desk drawer. I thought you said you played poker. Need your keys. A civilian thief? Theft is victimless. It's robbery when violence is involved. So you're just out of your goddamn mind. I'm the last person you'll ever talk to, Creek. Your choice, but do you really want to be rude? You seem like you can take it. The key clicks into a small safe, and I pull upon the door to reveal paperwork. Page after page of spreadsheets and diagrams and texts, all printed in red. Is this important? So considerate. I'll just throw it anywhere. Okay. I was joking! 3 minutes now. Sarcasm will cost you time you don't have. There it is. A gleaming darkness at the back of the safe. So that's it. You, all this, all of us. For that? Just for that? I get asked that question a lot. Would you feel better if I had killed you for a different reason? If I had a good reason for blowing a hole in your stomach? Would it have hurt any less? You've still got more than 2 minutes. Plenty of time. I could spin up whatever fairy tale you'd like to put you to bed. I bring the mask to my face, and for a brief moment, the surface seems to writhe. Is it trying to adjust itself to me? Suppose it makes sense. You wanting a mask so bad. If I was as hideous as you on the inside, I wouldn't want to go barefaced either. Hit a nerve. Must have the worst kind of feeling. Being seen. Seen by someone you can't even hurt anymore. Well, I see you. Heartbreak. Yeah, big, bad, faceless heartbreak. I'm just a dumbass punk. But even I could make you out from... Don't flatter yourself. It's not that you're particularly perceptive. I just don't have anything to hide when a corpse is talking. First honest thing you've said. So what gives, HBK? You're clearly not an idealist. All the terrorism, rebellion theories out the window. You go around killing because your daddy smack you around? Your mommy not hug you enough? My father never laid a hand on me. My mother hugged me a sufficient amount. So what the hell's your excuse? I don't make excuses. Then what the hell's wrong with you? Less than a minute now. I could spend that time making up a diagnosis if you'd like. Or would you prefer I just come over there and squeeze? How many? Another question straight out of the greatest hits. How can I put this? How many times have you eaten bread? For fuck's sake, Morgan, do you have to reference JoJo's Bizarre Adventure right now? Never. Got a gluten thing, bitch! Whatever. Point is, I am not a collector. This is not my hobby. I do not keep count. There is no code. I do what I want, as often as I want to. Do what thou wilt. Whole of the law, is that it? Don't know what you're referencing. But from where you're sitting, do I really look like the law-abiding type? I bring the mask back down to my face, and again, its surface seems to shudder. Forget it. At least I know. You deserve what's coming. I've heard a lot of empty threats in people's last moments, Creek. They're never that memorable. Told you that mask was a death sentence. That it was spoken for. They called in a huntsman from overseas. Home turf. Huntsmen can become anyone, go anywhere, kill anything. It's supposed to come over and slaughter the Rust. That mask was part of his payment. He'll be looking for it. Possession is 9/10 of the law. The hell's that supposed to mean? Finders, keepers. Forget it, I don't need to scare you. Huntsman, hunter, too much meaning. Lost. Always thought better translation was pelt taker. They'll find you, play you live, wear your skin, then go and murder everyone you've ever... What a face! Should have taken you up on dipping out early. Anything's beat dying, staring at a face like that. So, a huntsman coming to get me. Nah, the dead and the dying make for strong bluffers. And I've seen more than a few of them try their hand at improv. Time to move. I need to scuff things up a bit more, make it look like an orca shootout than, well, a visit from me. Alright. Cover tracks. First, get the knife back. Welcome to the first new mechanic. Yeah, covering up your tracks. Weapons are inherently disposable. I can kill with anything, so I never bother to retrieve one from a dead man's grip. But, I might have need for a knife again shortly. I'll be taking this back, Miller. I had to pry. Why is it that the dead are always grasping? The sword was not worth the effort. Lesson learned, but now I have to remove it for this next part. His eyes. Can't tell the model from the outside, but I can make a strong, educated guess at the price range. If they back up any data, it can't be more often than once an hour. It'll be 10 o'clock soon. I'm gonna need something with some heft to it. Skull. See no evil. Well, the bat's definitely spent. Oh my god, she obliterated the bat. But his eyes are no longer a problem, and the sword is fine where it is. Not gonna tempt fate and risk nicking myself with it. That's all the burning issues addressed. So anyways, Morgan is actually strong as shit. I mean, she just destroyed that bat, so... Time to take care of the chores. I had to remove my gloves to convince them I could use the dark card. That means I handle all the murder weapons with my bare hands. Obviously, I'll need to wipe my prints off this gun and my knife. But I put my gloves on before opening Creek's safe and cracking Trey's skull. So what does that leave? The sword. It leaves the sword's handle. Remember everything Morgan handled? Better try, the police don't miss fingerprints. You're sure you've got everything, you're good to move on, right? Focus. No mistakes. Okay, sword. The sword. I gripped the handle with both hands when I brought it down on his neck. The TV remote. That's true. Thinking back, I dragged the tip across the floor, didn't I? Shit, probably got Miller's blood on it. That's sloppy. And stupid. Why the hell did I... No, forget it. There's nothing I can do about it anyway. Fingerprints can be wiped, but there's no cleaning agent on Earth that can hide blood. There's no cleaning agent on Earth that can hide blood from a modern forensics team. And I'm not looking to do an encore performance of my reaction to those goddamn fickle bobbies. The card, did she handle the card? So, sword, return keys, the card, yeah, the remote. This is the remote I used to distract the big guy. I needed to wipe my prints off it, of course, but should I turn the music back off? No, it was playing when I first walked in. Best to preserve continuity. Besides, what was it he said? We like it loud, screws with the bugs. He was right about that much. Little smokescreen never hurts. The dark card played its role as bait perfectly, even if it's the reason I'm having to go around wiping off prints. I'll never be able to pull funds off it, but I might be able to use it again if... It's stuck. Creek must have dropped it harder than I realized. Getting shot in the stomach doesn't help with handling delicate electronics. No way I'm gonna risk taking the whole reader with me. Could have any number of pings and strings leading back to the manufacturer or even the Blue Bloods themselves. No, I'll wipe the dark card off and set the whole reader back on the desk. For all anyone knows, Creek's pod mugged it off some slummer, and we're trying in vain to get beer money off of it. Return keys. Oh yeah, I guess I should... Yeah, I definitely don't want to bring the keys with me. Right, the keys I took off and opened the safe. Oh, there's a little maid keychain. The Blue Bloods are going to find out I took the mask eventually, but I see no reason to give them any hints. And on the off chance the police get here first, I'd rather not investigate this as a robbery. All that's to say, you can have these back, Creek. Anything else? I don't think so. Socks with sandals, he deserved it. No, I think we're good. I think that's it. I can't exactly spend all night on this. Am I good here? Yeah, okay. This feels like the scene's been set. Strange sensation erasing your own presence. A sense of supremely private accomplishment. Like placing the last piece into a milk-white jigsaw puzzle, and then throwing it in the trash. It's not unpleasant, but I can't linger here any longer to savor it. Time to draw this to a close. Thank God for the mask. I can still tell it smells god-awful in here, but it's bearable. Rehydrated sweat and vomit, sets full of adrenaline, sickly heat. Unfiltered, I'd be at risk of getting sick. If it weren't for all that blood. Right. What to do with you? Blindfolded gags, hands bound above him with plastic ties and linen wrappings, beaten, bloody, and... shrugged. These syringes. They wanted him to stay conscious. Not very popular, are you? Still, you're not dead. And with these kinds of injuries, you won't die soon. Not without a push. That might be the most charitable thing to do, under these circumstances. Must have wished for death at least once during all this torture. Too bad. The bat that barred the door is now in splinters. Anyone walking in after me won't realize that this room was locked from the outside. If this captive has somehow gotten his hands on a blade, there'd be nothing stopping him from stepping out of here and butchering his captors. Blue Bloods will want someone to blame for the deaths of 4 of their men, and unlike the police, they won't bother arresting an innocent man and putting him up on trial for the world to see. They'll wrap things up for me. Hold that for me. As for the gun... What's with the... All I did was tuck the gun into your waistband, pal. Oh. Okay, I can see how that would be distressing under the circumstances. Well, you can relax about that. It's not loaded. A few minutes from now, you're gonna wish it was. Out again already. Rest up while you can. When you wake up, you'll want to start running. (3:35 p.m., August 14th, 2086. Like I practiced. Irashai. Pardon? Keep working on it, kid. Bar Kintsugi. Oh no, he's a weeb. He works in a bar called Bar Kintsugi. Didn't mean to interrupt you in the middle of training your new employee. How's it working out? It is she, right? Never worked with this close with an ad before. She is unbearably forgiving, so I doubt you'll get sued. Jack Daniels survived into the 2080s. Yeah, it's made of people now. She's fine. Good at cleaning, precise with her mixing, knows a hell of a lot of trivia. Popular with the younger crowd, I think. This is the place with the android bartender. They talk like I installed a new karaoke machine. I didn't know you had a younger crowd. Funny. What does that make you, Grandma? It's made of locally sourced Jacks and Daniels. More of a learning curve to her than I was expecting. Did you cheap out on her base installs? It's like I have to teach her everything. Trust me, there's nothing cheap about Sarah. Well, alright, what's the new profile for Sarah, say? Paralegal, apprentice at Kintsugi. Like Splitfield Diopter, Wing Chun. Oh, Wing Chun! Good choice. Folding clothes. Also very autistic, got it. Dislikes mops, fire alarms, and variety packs. Useless talent, can do a full split, but that is not useless. That's true. If you can do a full split, that's incredibly impressive. Favorite quote, as you think, so shall you become. Confession, tried to use Adonai's makeup and broke a lipstick. Just a whole lipstick. But yes, she can take a minute when learning the ropes. Grin and bear it a little while longer. Once she does find her footing, she'll have you worried about your job security in no time. Keep it up. I didn't have to do you the favor of hiring her, you know. Favor? Plenty of people out there who would kill to work in an up-and-coming bespoke establishment like Bar Kintsugi. I think I hear them pounding on the door now. Technically, legally, you didn't hire anyone. I generously agreed to loan you my android during the hours when I have no use for it. These kinds of arrangements aren't uncommon. Androids can, in theory, work 24 hours a day, indefinitely, but their users can't. Parents come home from work, people go to sleep, staff take holidays, office is closed for the night. The end result for all that slack is a lot of androids spend a good portion of their operating time waiting around. The more enterprising owners loan them out during that downtime, ideally to businesses with complementary working hours. There are plenty of apps and HR software to help arrange it all, but Sarah's apprenticeship wasn't that on the books. After the fallout around David's death settled down, I came to realize exactly how short-changed I was in our paralegal agreement. She's handy for research and rote work, of course, but she barely sleeps, rarely eats, finishes paperwork at lightning speed. I was spending more time finding shit to keep her busy than I was actually working. And of course, I value my alone time. It was one of those long walks of mine, then I recalled Reynard was having trouble getting this bar up and running. Takes a village to keep the world's most advanced android busy. Yeah, lone, whatever. Sarah's the one who clocks in and clocks out, does the work, cleans the bathroom. She's the employee. If she was an employee, you'd have to cover her benefits. Not on my current income bracket. I checked 3 times. But you're not taking your paycheck, are you? It's not a paycheck. Don't lawyer me on this shit. Sarah can't earn a paycheck. She's not a person. If she walks like a person and talks like a person and works like a person, the Supreme Court disagrees by 13-0. Yeah, well, Supreme Courts have been wrong about that kind of thing before, haven't they? Do I hear a touche? Sarah, tell boss here what you spend your salary on. Reynard, boss, Diamante. Operator owner, Kintsugi. Likes libraries, boating, and fast learners. Dislikes marketing, solicitors, and signing things. Same. Collects ancient coins. Pet peeve web pages that take too long to load. Don't mention the speed at which Kintsugi's site loads. I have started purchasing cases of wine. What? Wait, that's what those deliveries were? As the wine appreciates, its resale value will increase. Especially if I can predict which vintages will be in high demand. Since I don't have a bank account, I can't earn interest in the traditional sense, but if I stay up to date on the sommelier reviews... So you'll resell the wine at a profit, and what'll you do with that money? She is literally fucking gaming. Sarah is full-on gaming. Stop it, you're making her depressed. I did also purchase a cache of sheet music. What? What for? Practice. You're muttering. Forget it, none of my business. Speaking of business, the place isn't exactly packed. Will you volunteering to help with that? There are lawyer bars, right? Right? Where all the lawyers go after trials? Kintsugi could be a lawyer bar. Yeah, those lawyer bars are usually close to the courthouse, though. Just don't. Everything's signed and paid. I just can't think about what ifs in the location anymore. This is the spot that was available, and I need a soda water with all this stress in my stomach. Sarah, 10 bar. Ahem. What are you buying, stranger? What was that? Boss has been teaching me his bar-side manner. He says that his clientele expect a certain degree of maturity when they come here. And so you're using a deeper voice? Is it not working? Please let me know when you're ready to order. What you buying, stranger? It's a well-stocked bar. Got tea and coffee, too, if that's what you're into. Nice ambiance, soft lighting, warm on a chill night and cool on a hot day. Now all that's left to do is wait for customers to stream in. Her epic maturity is the lame-ass RE4 bit. Is it? Any day now. There it is. Did someone leave this behind after their lunch break? Could be trouble if they left anything work-related on here. I'll help them out by throwing it in the trash. After I'm done reading. Sirius debuts new fuel named a new lawsuit. Dr. Sirius made waves in the scientific community for the dozenth time in their storied career when they announced that they had patented the process for distilling a new helium-based fuel, one intended to replace hydrogen in combustion engines ranging from personal vehicles to full-size freighters. Only a few days later, they made headlines again when that patent was leaked on the global net. Protech, an investment firm and longtime financial backer of Dr. Sirius, has filed a lawsuit alleging that not only that Dr. Sirius had failed in their responsibilities to protect their investment, but actually allowed the leak to occur. We sat down with Dr. Sirius to ask them they respond to the suit's allegation and to question them about their reoccurring legal woes. For those of them not familiar, what makes your process for distilling helium fuel so valuable? In this world, if you're not plugged into an outlet, you're running on a battery or you're burning fuel. Batteries are useful, but they scale poorly. A battery-powered phone is light enough to be weightless in your pocket. A battery-powered plane couldn't generate enough lift to get off the ground. Now, aside from a number of closely guarded national reserves, there are no fossil fuels left. The wells were pumped dry years ago, so after we were forced to adapt into a rather abrupt period of growing pains, hydrogen has become the global standard for fueling long-distance machinery. Therein lies the problem. The plane I took to get here runs on hydrogen. It produces nothing but water vapor. What's the problem? The problem is that laborers fueling your plane before it took off had their fingers crossed the entire time, afraid that if the absolute grounding field failed, one static spark could blow up the whole airport. What makes helium superior? The helium-2 fuel we've developed is not pure helium, to be clear, but just near enough. Unlike hydrogen fuels, what we created is non-combustible. You could fire a flamethrower over a tank of it and remain perfectly safe. Non-combustion fuel power combustion engines, specialized catalyst ignited, yeah, it's expensive to distill. Hindenburg 2, baby. Hell fucking yes, Hindenburg 2. For the Bessemer process, going with this, leaking your data intentionally so that others around the world are free to start experimenting with it. Energy is limited, cannot be the scarcity of you. Will have a monopoly. My orphan-powered car never took off. Well, yeah, you ran out of orphans. You have to start killing people to make more orphans. Long enough time to scale trend to 0. You're gonna stop you there because getting into the next your politics. You consider yourself a political person. Are you a communist? No. Do you believe science should be apolitical? Yes. Calling all conservatives backwards. Yeah. Senses reproduce, no miracles required, miracles prohibited. Okay. For pop sci, figure out Sirius sure keeps busy. Guess I don't have any evidence proving they aren't legitimately brilliant. But I can't take seriously anyone who guest stars on TV that much. Can't deny they seem to be making progress with new kinds of new fuels. Some of only the new fuels we've seen in decades. Could be decades longer before it's actually practical, but any new fuel has to be less volatile than hydrogen. Please don't throw that data pad out. Its owner might come back. Perish the thought. Though, now that you planted the idea in my head... A self-fulfilling prophecy! Ryan must have searched for months to find affordable underground real estate that wasn't flooded, or already filled to the brim with server farms. Putting Sarah on cleaning duty was a good call. If any of the tiling here starts to grime up, it could start feeling like a subway station bathroom real fast. Kitty. It's a lucky cat. Yeah. Did you say something, Adonai? No. I suddenly got the strong impression that there was something you wanted to say. I don't know what you're talking about. As you say, Neko unlocked. I think I'm ready to order. What do you mean Neko unlocked? Data pads. Articles. Helium fuel. Neko unlocked. Neko Morgai already had. She channeled you for a second. Real. What do you mean Neko unlocked? Where is Neko? I think I'm ready to order. Of course. Now I'll take this, Sarah. Go wipe the tables for a bit. No one has sat at them since I last cleaned them. Then pretend to clean them like a normal employee. Neko, Sarah. Understood. What's got you so tense? Take a wild guess. Did Sarah ask for a raise? Be serious, Red. What happened last night? Your information was accurate, for the most part. A pod of mid-level blue bloods had it. Seemed like they were told to sit on it. And were they willing to sell? Nope. Laughed at my price, called me a spoiled Meg, and kicked my butt out the door. They weren't curious where you got your information from? Honestly, no. They rushed me out there pretty fast once they heard my offer. Were they expecting more company? I got the impression they had work to get back to. Okay. Anything else I should know? No? Anything you want to ask me? How did you two meet? The tables. On my second day, you told me not to over-polish them in order to keep things lo-fi. Lo-fi. Is that inappropriate? Is it that inappropriate of a question? You've lived in the city for decades, boss, but Adonai didn't move here until she started her apprenticeship at Masters and... If you're gonna tell people my whole life story at every possible opportunity, I'll just shred my resume and start mailing you around instead. How we met, huh? Well, that story's not very good. I'll skip to the end and cut to the heart of our relationship. Sarah, I pay Reinhardt a finder's fee, and he tells me where I can get into high-stakes poker games. It's not a lie. Now you know my terrible secret. Disappointed? It's not illegal to gamble. She has the Adrian Andrews fit. Yeah, a little bit. I don't go on my phone and wager my paycheck stubs on point spreads. I gamble. And since I can't afford the entrance fees for one of these anonymous masked ball cult vibe blimp casinos the rich go to, I count on your boss here to find me tables to play at. Guilty. Do you travel to the lower wards to gamble illegally? Truth be told, I've had my suspicions. Seeing you go out at such odd hours without so much as your phone. You gonna turn me in? Irashai! Or is it more firm? Irashai. Two firm-looking men in finely pressed black suits with shades tinted so dark. These are not dark, these are bright. They must have needed modded eyes to see from behind them. Despite the subtle color palette, they stand out. It's hard not to in clothes that look that expensive. Clothes with some kind of pin in them. Matching pins. Suits noir and shades slick. Fucking Jesus Christ. More emphasis on the raw. Oh, thank you. I think I just heard the delivery drones bumping around outside, Sarah. Would you check out the back? Your vintages might have arrived. Fucking straight up Homestuck reference. In this day and age. A direct, undeniable Homestuck reference. Go on. Please excuse me then. Afternoon then, gentlemen. What can I do for you? They're Yakuza now. Well, hello, VTuber titties. You've come to the right place. This was made by someone of our generation. I mean, that's true. One of these days, I'm gonna have some bouncy VTuber titties, and you're all gonna start paying for it. I mean, once I figure out how to get a model and then actually, I have the camera to track it. I just don't have the model. One of these days, though, you'll all pay. Titties are titties, and I see titties. 10 stream mood, make biscuits with it. Respect. The age of 30 is in demand. You know it is. Mr. Diamani, pardon us for dropping in without first making an appointment. No trouble at all. Still getting the place cleaned up. I'm awfully embarrassed that I failed to realize the property lay within your borders. If you'd come with me to the back, I'd be happy to settle with whatever debt. We look like petty landlords to you? If you owed us tribute, you know it by now. My mistake. Well, if you're here for information, I'd gladly wheel and deal. How about you? We're not here to shop either. We're here looking for Morgan. Well, that name ring any bells, Mr. Diamani? I already pay for it monthly, actually. That's a good point. More people will pay for it. They're gonna see my lively titties. And they're like, damn, I have to give this lady money every month. Listen, boys, I'm not sure. Sorry. Had something blaring in my earbud. I'm A. Morgan, Esquire, specifically. How can I be of service? I mostly practice criminal defense, but I do offer a few other services. You two look corporate. I can recommend some good workplace attorneys. I've got a business card somewhere. We're not interested in that. Of course not. Well, I'm flattered that you come all the way here to find me. You must have already tried the home office. We can set something up for... You need to come with us now, ma'am. Hey, I thought you said there was nothing I needed to know. Business day's over for me, gentlemen. Can this matter wait until tomorrow? Does it look like it can? Great manners, this one. Time sensitive, then? My rate will have to reflect that. Send us the bill. We can afford it. So you remember when I said I haven't beaten it yet? I lied. Did you beat it just now? They're killing you now. Oh, okay. Music to any lawyer's ears. So who is we, then? You think you're funny? Compared to you? Morgan! These fine gentlemen are from House Icaria. Yeah, I could have guessed. On occasion, information you went out of your way to collect in previous episodes will unlock new dialogue. It pays to stay informed. I'm familiar. You are? I've seen their name in papers. Plastering their name all over uptown opera houses and homes for the sick or whatever. Oh, I didn't recognize that name when those blue buds were cursing it last night, so maybe the propaganda's working. Doesn't matter how generous they are at the galas. They're still the richest and most powerful criminal organization in the city. Rich and powerful. Why bother with a criminal qualifier? Weird that they announced episode 3 being wishlistable when she's about to get cut into sashimi. Look, I'm just saying that Shade Slick and fucking what's his name? I was about to say Diamonds Droog. Shade Slick, their situation is developing, Mr. Diamani. We appreciate your patience. That's not what you want to hear. So I gathered. Just play as Sarah, duh. That's true. Suit Noir, yeah. Look, she could take him. Your presence has been requested at the family estate, ma'am. For business, or... The Icaria are always business. Shall we get you your coat? Such gentlemen! Knew those suits weren't just for show. I can see myself out just fine, though. Another Yakuza Kate. I know. Adonai? What's going on? Are you going somewhere? They can Tiger Drop. Fuck, you're right. Tiger Drop negates all damage. Shit. That's why they pay me the big bucks. These men are very athletic. Perhaps I should come with you. If they want to arm wrestle, you'll be the first to know. Call me when you get there, yeah? She's pouting because she can't go. If I'm actually in danger, I won't even be conscious when I arrive, but I appreciate the thought. Boss? Who were those men really? New clients for Morgan. Really. Hopefully. Hopefully? Yeah, hopefully, because if House Ikaria puts her on retainer, she'll be able to buy you as much wine as you like. But what do you mean by house? Alright, pay attention. If I'm gonna lecture, might as well try to teach. Start with ice. You want a lot of it, but low surface area, so never use crushed, okay? Starts to melt into the liquor, waters the whole thing down. Yes, ideally you want spherical ice, but like, you know, it's annoying to produce, so forget it. Understood. 1.5 ounces of vodka. And what do we look for in a good vodka? Smoothness. Correct. It's the mark of quality, making the bitter go down easy. So, the nobility. Know what that is? Historically, the ruling class is enforced by economic or military might and maintained by familial relations. Juice of a full lime. Look for the little spring and a consistent color across the skin. Nobility. Old money is another word for it. And the older it is, the slower it moves. Only so much wealth you can accrue in one lifetime collecting from serfs and selling horses. But the Industrial Revolution comes along, shows the world what real wealth acquisition looks like, then you get new money, which always dwarfs old money. Inflation and split inheritances shave away at generational wealth that's liquid. Now, new money and old money, they don't like each other. Doesn't new money eventually become old money? If the old money can help it, no one ever becomes old money. Triple sec, 1 ounce. My family was new money, tried to make the transition, join the right clubs, shake the right hands, make the right marriages, laugh at the bad jokes. Bad jokes can be entertaining in their own right. Not the kind of bad I'm talking about. I don't understand. That's alright, you shouldn't need to know. But what do you mean your family was new money? Times changed about 30 years ago. Recession, depression, civil unrest, political upheaval. Most people, they were so scared they could barely think about tomorrow, let alone next year. But a decent man's chaos is a cruel man's investment opportunity. Yeah, it's like lime, triple sec, and a little bit of vodka. Sounds pretty classic. So everyone else is panic selling off everything they could do to buy food and water. A certain type of personality was buying. For pennies on the dollar, as it were. Give me a peel from that lime. Shallow as possible. Any white you can see is just bitter. It's called the Thringler. 1 ounce of gin. Ruined it. Put gin in there. They were rough years, but they passed. Yeah, so we're just doing a martini, I assume. And at the end of it all, some were left standing with a lot more than what they came in with. New money. A new kind of new money. The new nobility. Neobility, if you're writing a think piece. Neobility. Why do you know about alcohol if you won't drink it? I think it's interesting. The same reason I watch stuff talking about, like, horror movies. You're right, though, gin sucks. I have not talked to a single person who drinks who enjoys gin. Slang term for the nouveau riche, families that arose in the second half of the 21st century. Negative connotation and meant to criticize the way said families supposedly styled themselves as nobility. Unabashed oligarchs and devourer barons. When the governments of the world tried to re-privatize the industries they had taken over with emergency powers, they were there to snatch them. And they started at the bottom. Steel, fuel, grain, machine parts, and medicine. Here enters House Ikari. Look, nothing can be... The way to tell if something is bad is if something is, like, there's an exclusivity to enjoying it. Like, there are specifically gin bars. And it's like, what do you do there? You drink gin. And you hang out with other people who drink gin. And it's like... So you all have to gather in one place because nobody else is offering it. My childhood neighbor drinks it exclusively, apparently. After he tracked you down, I've blocked him on everything. Totally fair. Or that's how they exited. They went into the Red Decade as the Icaria Cartel. Drug smugglers and extortionists, thieves and murderers. They came out as one of the richest, most respectable names in the country. Not that they actually stopped doing any of that thieving and murdering, mind you. Put the top on tight, then shake. So, they're a crime family. Like the mob. This is the 21st century, kid. It's muddier than that. House Icaria is not literally one family, not even one race or creed. They're simply the strongest criminal organization in the city, on paper. But not in practice? Practice is what they're lacking. Haven't had to get their hands dirty, haven't had to maintain a presence in the lower wards in years. They make their profits from investments, blackmail, more than a little insider trading. So they're criminal, yes, but their muscles atrophied. Time for a taste test. Ugh, that's not right at all. The hell did I forget? Boss? There must have been other criminal organizations 30 years ago. Others poised to take advantage of the changing times. Yeah. So what did the Icaria do to set themselves apart from the rest back then? Ugh, stupid. The most important ingredient. Drop of grenadine. The Lady Maria. Ooh, it's beautiful. This is nothing. We'd use a frosted glass if this was for a customer. Looks like a ruby in the right lighting. If you do end up helping Red work with the Icaria, don't let the warmth of their golden furnishings confuse you. All that glitters is cold. "4:03 p.m., August 14th, 2086. It was a quiet and uneventful drive in the back of the limousine. That's not how the saying goes, dumbass. I know, right? Was he even paying attention when he learned it? The privacy, at least, was nice. But with Abbott and Costello riding in the front, I had no way of getting information out of them. Not even passively. Tojo Clan HQ. Real. So instead, I spent the whole ride trying to play out all the different ways that this could go. And I haven't liked any of them so far. I suppose I should have felt relief or gratitude when they pulled up outside of an imposing skyscraper instead of an alley. I suppose it's a good sign that no one's put a bag over my head or stuck a needle in my neck. But I don't feel like celebrating. For all I know, they really don't have a clue about what I did in the lower wards last night. But for some reason, they've placed their attention on me. And there's little I hate more than unwanted advances. I'm also not a fan of being made to wait. Why am I just sitting out here? In here. We were too late. Only by a few minutes. He filled the time slot. Already? Then we got no chance of... Maybe if his other meeting went well. Are we on hold, gentlemen? Koromachi was about to skydive in a hostess dress. Then Morgan is going to introduce me to the heat system. In the world's most expensive waiting room? Quiet. I take it he's glaring at me behind those lenses, but I'm more interested in the sweat glistening on his forehead. Somehow, of the three of us, I'm the most relaxed. This is becoming embarrassing. Can I at least take in the view while we're here? You can take photos if you like, so long as you're quiet. Really? No, your phone won't work in here. Go figure. Go fish? Kiwami means it sucks. Is it trying too hard to look unconcerned if I sit down and start reading the news? Maybe. But my boredom outweighs my apprehension at the moment. Not my fault they failed to be sufficiently intimidating. PSS proposition city ahead of next month's convention. Next month, the city will play host to one of the most competitive political conventions in recent memory, with Senator Mathings expected to face significant opposition from party outliers before securing his nomination. Kiwami means fuck you. Nobody actually knows what Kiwami means. But while the broader nation eagerly anticipates the oncoming political circus, city officials are already under fire for a supposed lack of sufficient convention security. The city has already approved a record-high monthly budget for the police department, including fully unrestricted overtime for officers of all ranks. But a coalition of private security services, including White Adder, Fang, and Demico, has released a press statement urging the city council to consider contracting their services ahead of the convention. Ahem. Heartbreak was bad enough. Now we're hearing the cops are dying in the lower wards. When are the city officials gonna say enough is enough? What happened to playing Yakuza for my birthday anyway? I don't have a system hooked up where I can play Yakuza because I forgot that it was part of my, like, PS Plus subscription. And I still need to overhaul my whole fucking setup. Ugh. We have the utmost respect for all first responders. None of us are blaming the hardworking police for these failures. How could they succeed when political insiders insist that they try to apprehend criminals with one hand tied behind their back? Our contracted forces have world-class training in crowd pacification, preemptive de-escalation, and enhanced interrogation tactics. And any of the subhuman scum who empathize with anarchists won't dare to leave their mother's basements once we can get our boots on the ground. That's a guarantee. It's because she hates us and peak fiction. Morgan Freeman True JPEG. Fuck, I need to add that to BTTV right now. BTTV. I need to add a true emote. True. There it is. There we go. So it's just true in all caps, is what it is. City Council declined to comment when we reached out to them and asked whether they would be issuing a request for proposals on such services. The total city population is expected to swell next month as the national political spotlight draws lobbyists, delegates, political action committees, and voters in ahead of the 2-week-long process. Most of the community members we spoke about are expressing optimism about the increase in economic activity and tourism. What do you mean lie? Why are you saying liar? Who is lying about what? I'm trying to absorb information right now. Ah, what the hell? Bunking me. Expressed optimism about the increase. Look at chat. I'm looking. BTTV emotes. True has been added to chat. True. And then I told you that it was true in all caps. And then I see two true emotes. And then you said liar. Like, I don't know what the liar. I don't know where lying comes in. It's not showing up. Well, you need to refresh. You need to refresh your chat. Oh, is it just because it's not on there? Yeah, I would need to refresh the chat. Michael, of course, is here. Michael is always here. I don't know how I would reboot my chat box. Let's see. I assume I need to go to where I'm getting my chat box overlay and then, like, reboot that somehow? No, it's not worth it. Oh, she hates us. Why are you beating me with a fish? Why are you beating me with a Joel right now? Anyway. 2 weeks for a convention when the nominee was decided 2 years ago. It's a joke. We're the punchline. Footing the bill to pay cops to stand around outside parties full of thousands of do-nothing staffers and campaign managers. This article is presented to you... yeah, okay. National political spotlight. The joke and we're the punchline of putting the bill, pay cops. Yeah. Okay. I suppose it's less offensive than bare advertisement or paywall, but why list your donors mid-article? Loud, rapid source engine slamming sound effects. God, I wish I could get that as a sound alert. Oh, it doesn't make my eyes glaze over. Whatever, I got the important part. City's hosting that convention next month, putting pressure on the council to vote on hiring mercenaries. Whether or not to bring up on private security contractors on top of the massive policing budget makes a little difference to me. Cops and mercs have different quirks, but they all share the same blind spots. I'll be just fine. How the average law-abiding citizen will put up with them clogging the streets for 2 weeks, though. Not like it'll be the least popular political decision made next month. Everyone knows Mathings will be the candidate. That was decided years ago. The contested convention will just be him finding a balance between how much public opposition he's willing to stomach against how many favors he feels like giving out. This country's already a circus without any bread. You'd think that at least they could do is make the performances interesting. What was that in the article about the cops dying in the lower wards anyway? Pretty heavy-handed just make up that kind of thing, even when pearl clutching and pitching yourself at the same time. The illusion isn't unimpressive. Do you have a fucking mega milk emo bear? That's a mech I can get behind. Hell fucking yes. Also, I love that it's Memi, and then Gulk. You're goddamn right. Windows into the heavens, sparkling like raindrops across a puddle. It might even be appealing if it wasn't trying to be something it's not. You look up and see the hexagons above you in the lower wards too. Rich or poor, people just can't imagine themselves under an open sky anymore. Not even in their wildest dreams. If I weren't hyper-aware of the flickering sky hanging over my head, this could make for a lovely watering hole. But those probably aren't even real fish down there. Literal children are capable of keeping goldfish alive, so of course the 0.1%ers can't manage it. Maybe they'd spin it. When their pallid bodies float to the top because of some idiot raised the water temperature 2 degrees, they'd certainly be easy to scoop out. If you're an impatient, undignified idiot, you could argue it'd be an efficient way to fish. Well, I've looked around at everything that had caught my eye, and now I'm all out of ideas. Everything except... maybe they don't know we're here. I'm gonna try knocking. What are you... Hey! Before I get the chance, creaking oak draws my attention to an alternate entrance on the other side of the water. Really bright. Holy crap! Is this guy chewing on like a vape cigar right now? It's Garp One Piece. Fuck, you're right. Garp of the 21st century. Stop staring and get a move on. If that's the kind of man walking out of this place, who's waiting for me inside? Fucking the cyber cigar. 4:09 p.m. August 14th, 2086. Icaria Tower, residential floors. Grand Hall. Cyber cigars for the cyber future. I hope they're at least like silicone or something you can chew on at the end. Pomp and circumstance, ceremony and ritual. For some reason I thought the Mafia of all people would be a little more efficient in their execution. A little more honest about what they are. Evidently not. Artifice with every glance, costumes and makeup abound. Is this disappointment? That even here, the supposed bowels of the underworld, there's no escaping the etiquette of it all? She's the one? Doesn't look like much. Suddenly, their posture stiffens even further. A true feat. Their necks subtly turn to a pair of doors in the back, each of them attuned to some signal I'm not receiving. Be still. The young master returns. Forehead. Fucking forehead alert. Fucking big, wearing dad's coat. You're late. Hold on, wait. Young master, sir, everyone slow down. We came as soon as we found her, sir. Traffic was just some sassy lost child. Silence. Yes, sir. What time were you told to return by? 4 o'clock, sir. And what time is it now? Permission to check my phone. You're late. You were tasked with finding one woman and bringing her here in a timely manner. Sir, you'll speak when I tell you to, and not one word further, else I'll have your teeth removed. By way of curbside. Is this a prank? Am I being recorded? He who wishes to fight must first count the cost. So says Sun Tzu. Please let this be a prank. And I don't think you can fathom the cost your tardiness has incurred. If the lead up to my execution is just some kid reading from Art of War, I might just... What is the #1 rule in this family? Timeliness, sir! When the money gets wasted, it can be replaced. But time only goes one way. It's always running out. The loss is permanent. Every second wasted is a scar on this house's face. Timeliness is next to godliness. So say I. Oh, God. If you two ever waste my time, the house's time... Again, expect to be dragged through hell. I'm already there. Now both of you get out. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Useless. You. Red woman, you're being addressed. Forget pride. I just want this over with as fast as possible. You're the lawyer, correct? You may answer. As fast as possible. I am a lawyer. Morgan, criminal defense, Mr... How should I address you? As all outsiders do, by my name, Makoto of House Ikaria. Let's go, Makoto. That's my girl from Street Fighter. Occupation, heir apparent, unemployed, student. Wait, such impudence. Likes biographies, shogi, and amber. Dislikes tardiness, tarnish, group assignments. Favorite figures, Saladin, Sun Tzu, and Hannibal. And your girl from Persona 5. And your girl, I mean, yeah, I do like Makoto Persona 5. Favorite phrase, Vae Victis. Literally, woe to the conquered. Relaxes by building and painting models. Oh my god, a war gamer. You, Morgan Criminal Defense, have the great honor of being summoned before me. Don't bother bowing. Once you start, you'll end up prostrated all day, and we have important work to do. Right. Out of an abundance of respect for your time, Makoto, I should let you know that I still have no idea what I'm doing here. Oh. I'll have them kneel on a bed of nails later or something. Miss Defends. Mrs. Really? The house has need of your legal services. Oh. Would you give me a moment to clear my throat? I need to switch gears. Instant? Right then, so you want to hire me. One of our own is being slandered by multiple homicide charges. You will defend him. You want to hire me, and I'm flattered, Makoto, but did you pull my name out of a hat? Pick a random page in the phone book? I have many books on my phone, libraries full of esoteric knowledge spread across countless tomes. You will have to be more specific. Sorry, I misspoke. What I mean is, this is House Ikaria. You must keep a small army of lawyers on retainer. Surely any one of them would be happy to help you. True, we have lawyers. Competent ones, expensive ones, and some who are both. But the best of them are all preoccupied. That's it? They're all just preoccupied? Preoccupied means busy. Thanks. But I'm still not sure how my name specifically was. Do you have a customer survey you want filled out, Mrs. Dufens? You were recommended. What does it matter how it came about? Normally, it wouldn't matter. But when the client I'm recommended to is one of the richest, most well-connected families in the country, it gives me pause. I don't have any friends in high places. Not anymore. It makes it hard to see this as a favor. Not when my employer doesn't even know my goddamn name. Of course. It gives her pause. This will happen to everyone. Under my rule, pause. Go with her nyas. Wait, give me a sec. Real quick, just like, fuck it. Just really, just, there we go. No doubt you have other questions. Very well, I'll permit you to ask them. Such a gentleman. I do appreciate the warm welcome, Makoto of House Ikaria. Really. But legal consultations are usually more private than this. Are we certain we need the peanut gallery? Let it not be said that House Ikaria is not accommodating of its guests. We're more than capable of compensating for this nut allergy you allude to. That's so sweet of you. But do all these guards really need to be present for this conversation? If you're referring to the additional security, it can't be helped, circumstances being what they are. Circumstances? And if you're referring to my retainers in general, then I suggest you step back into the garden and take a deep breath. Clearly the city's fumes do not agree with your constitution. You must be lightheaded if you think you're worthy to hold a one-on-one audience with the next head of this illustrious house. He's a prodigy to be this insufferable at such a young age. I'd like to know a bit more about you, actually. How long have you... I am the only son of Raphael Ikaria and the only grandson of Daisuke Ikaria, CEO of the Ikaria Financial Group, patriarch of this family, and chairman of the house. I gather that those titles are all one and the same. As one destined to succeed, the headship commanding the family's servants is my responsibility and my birthright. So if one of them needs a lawyer, it falls to you. When our loyal men, women, or their families need help, it is my solemn duty to ensure that they are taken care of. And your age? What a boorish question. I knew that peasants raised outside of our status had little understanding of the finer things, but I assumed that one with a law degree would be educated enough to know what is and isn't appropriate to discuss. I'm just gonna really quick just like, fuck it, just really like pull this up. February 27th. Oh, it doesn't have an age. Damn it. Just because I'm younger than some does not mean I'm any less capable of managing the people who work for me. Does it, men? Sir, no, sir! You definitely command their respect. That is no coincidence. One of those frequently noted characteristics of great men who have remained great is loyalty to their subordinates. So says George S. Patton. That's so interesting. This is an important point. Perhaps another quote is called for. I don't think that's necessary. I'll grant you another. If soldiers are punished before they have grown attached to you, they will not prove submissive. And unless submissive, then they will be practically useless. So says Sun Tzu. Back to back. Yes, the second quotation was called for in this instance. If only to emphasize to you that no one stays useless to House Ikaria for very long. One way or another. I'll admit I was a little taken aback to step off an elevator and into your enclosure out there. The gardens? Yes, our groundskeepers work hard on them. Does the illusion of the sky come from a live recording of somewhere else? Or is it generated programmatically? That'd take quite the equation. It is impressive, yes. As for how it works, I don't have the technical minutiae in front of me at the moment. That's okay. Of course it is! A lion does not concern himself with the exterior decorations of the sheep. Okay, there it is. It's your exterior and your decorations. What does it matter anyway? If you want specifics so badly, I have one of the servants put you in contact with the contracting firm. That's alright. Something tells me this consultation alone would break my bank account. If I wasn't brought here because of what happened last night, then this is just another job. Meaning all of this, starting back at the bar, This has all just been their idea of a power move. Thank you for insisting that I get to visit your estate in person. It's beautiful here. An oasis of old world sensibility amidst the desert of steel and neon eyesores, is what the house elders say. I've never seen anything like it. It matches your family's reputation for class. Ha! My family's reputation is power, not class. I take it a step further and guess you're renowned for violence rather than power. But that's a moot point. Violence can be classy. And from how this house is talked about in the headlines I read on the drive over, the nature of your family's reputation seems to vary greatly depending on who you ask. Some think you've got half the gangs in the city under your control. Others think you've left that all behind and are no worse than any other corporate family. Are you expecting me to ask you what you think? What I think is that I'll need some basic information if I'm to adequately defend your interests. We're financiers. You don't say. Lending, investing, taking over, buying out. The Icaria Financial Group was founded nearly 2 centuries ago. Loaning funds is high risk and high reward, but as you can see, our results speak for themselves. Private investment company and one of the nation's most exclusive asset managers. We believe that investing should be accessible to anyone. They're loan sharks. Got it. Icaria Financial Group? Fancy way of saying they got their start as mobster loan sharks. See, there it is! Thank you, Morgan. It's not impossible to get this rich with loan sharking alone, but such unsavory work wouldn't get them into the ballrooms and boardroom tiers of society. You gotta rip people off with mortgages to do that. Is lending the house's only income stream? No. Through Oria, our holding company, the house controls any number of what a civilian like you might call legitimate enterprises. And yes, we did found the Rennigan Pharmaceutical Corporation, but what's past is prologue. Rennigan? They're a drug company, one of the biggest. You're saying you've no relation to Rennigan presently? The company went public years ago and Oria divested our shares not long after. We were given 1 seat on the board as a formality. That's the extent of it. Given? A family like this only takes. Why is he suddenly so humble? He doesn't know the meaning of the word. If he's downplaying their pull with Rennigan? Global leader in pharmaceutical research. What I'm in the cabinet of every home for patients' lives, minimize environmental footprint. Dignity of pride, blah, blah, blah. Built metformin, first orally ingested treatment for type 2 abnormal diabetes. Then the house must have a reason to want to distance themselves from the company. You're being very modest, Makoto, and more than a little vague. It's only polite. It's unnecessary, talking to your lawyer. You aren't my lawyer, Miss Dufennes, but you will be working for me. So you'll have to become accustomed to putting your needs second. He's deflecting, and if he's trying to be subtle about it, he's not doing it well. I doubt it's possible a company with as big a boot heel as Rennigan has no relation to anything that happens in this city, but I'll drop it for now. I'm in no rush to wade into the boardroom politics again anytime soon. Thank you for indulging my curiosity so graciously, Makoto. Conquer the stingy through generosity. So says Buddha. Correct. Perhaps your education is not quite as deficient as I feared. But I should make clear that in this case, I was using the quote to subtly imply that you are stingy with your own graciousness. Got it. Yep. Shall we move on? I believe you mentioned a homicide? Multiple homicides. Tell me more. My head of security was arrested by the police last night in the lower wards. They found him brutally beaten, drugged, and tortured. It's the fucking guy that she pinned the crime on. Fucking Jesus Christ. And instead of bringing him straight to a hospital, they arrested him for murder. He's been framed, and you must prove his innocence. This is just episode 0 all over again. Un instant. You're only guessing that now. It was only made obvious now. I knew the person worked for Icaria. I didn't think their head of security would be able to be captured by a bunch of lowlives. I didn't think he would be down in the lower wards to begin with. Black and white still, yeah. Is there something wrong with your voice? Is this the peanut gallery allergy you mentioned? No, I just lost my train of thought for a second there. I'm not used to my luck changing this fast. One of the richest families in the city wants to pay me to prove a man's innocent of a crime I framed him for? Right then. Might I ask why he was found in the lower wards? I get the impression that Ikaria territory is generally positioned more vertically. This whole city is our territory. But it's true that our presence is felt more strongly in some areas than others. They captured him early yesterday. He was ambushed by cowards and dragged down to that stain of a neighborhood to be tortured senselessly. Well, he was tortured, I can attest to that much. But I don't believe in senseless violence. There's always a purpose, and it's usually staring you in the face. People just don't like making eye contact. You have any idea why he was taken? Or by whom? It was the Blue Bloods. They made no effort to hide it. In a worthy opponent, I might call that commendable, but knowing them, they're just too stupid to value deniability. I'm sure. And I'm sure there's no love lost between your groups, but kidnapping and torturing is beyond the pale, I agree. And the police are even worse. I expected no help from those incompetent fools, but these charges they're making, they're utterly ridiculous. Of course they are, but don't worry. I think they want to pin, and to think they want to pin 5 murders on him. 5? Did you say 5? Yes, 5! It's absurd. I can only take credit for 4 bodies. Acting so high and mighty, so affronted, so eager to blame us for the deaths of one of their officers. A dead cop? Is this what those mercs were advertising themselves with? What do you mean, one of their officers? Was there a UC, or... No, they made this ridiculous claim that he killed some uniform while resisting arrest. As if a member of our house would fear prison. I should have never dared to think that I got lucky here. These circumstances sound very complex, Makoto, and the police can take the death of one of their own very seriously. What makes you so certain of this man's innocence? Because this man's name is Sosuke Ikaria. The Hound. I've known him all my life. All 3 or 4 years of it. There's no individual more honorable, more devoted, more trustworthy. And not once have I ever known him to be violent, impulsive. He didn't do this. I know he didn't do this. The proving it is your job. About that. I haven't actually accepted the job yet, Makoto. But you will. If for no other reason than because we shall pay you more than you customarily receive for a contract. Considerably more. Not everything's a question of money. Yes, your meaning is taken. It need be silver and gold. You'll have no complaints with your compensation. The favor of House Ikaria can go very long way in this city. As can our wrath. I don't appreciate being threatened. I don't find it funny, even coming from a kid. However, if the state thinks whoever killed those 4 Blue Bloods also killed a cop, I can't afford to sit this hand out. Really funny that Pearl Fey is a young master to a Yakuza clan? What? Is it because of the forehead? They'll go over every centimeter of that building. One wrong move, one hair out of place. If I lose here, I lose. Period. He's your Pearl. Oh my god, no. But if I win, throwing an Ikaria-sized wallet in the pot beforehand is all upside. I understand, Makoto of House Ikaria. I'll take Sosuke's case. You say that as if it were ever in doubt. A true prodigy, but he might be right. Maybe it never was. I chose to put that gun into this Sosuke's hands when I could have just plunged that knife into his temple. Maybe the line drawn from that moment to the razor edge I'm walking right now is perfectly straight. A line drawn from one point to another is always perfectly straight. A better metaphor would have been a bullet's trajectory. For all the talk of wind resistance and breathing patterns and the Coriolis effect and the chaos theory, you can't exactly act surprised when your shot lands right where the crosshairs were pointing. Morgan's my last name, by the way, before you start writing any checks. You should have enunciated! "4:41 p.m., August 14th, 2086. In transit. Hey there, boss. Of course I'm fine. What did you think was gonna happen? Yeah, all good news. I've got quite the paycheck coming my way. More bad news, maybe bad news for you if you get to a large crowd tonight. Yeah, tell Sarah to meet me at the police station address I'm about to send. I've got work for her to do. There will be quite the paycheck indeed waiting for me, assuming I can win. But can I afford to accept it? Ugh. Hey. Were any of those jokes around the office about your clients being connected to organized crime true? What? Is this some kind of honeypot? If you want a cheap gift from me, basic Smirnoff or Captain Morgan bottles are only like 12 bucks. The vodka. Trying to get a grasp on something. Now I know you're baiting me. World's easiest that's what she said layup. I'd still basket that shit, though I don't give a fuck. Why do you make everything so hard? Come on. Like, come on, Freckles. Low-hanging fruit. I have no idea what you're talking about. Obviously. Why you ask me about mafia shit, though? I'm working a case for the Icaria, whom I assume you've heard of. Definitely. Under circumstances that are probably vulgar. Absolutely. Which you'd happy to be bragged about to me anytime. Anyways, I'd love to grab Morgan's low-hanging fruits. So fucking real. But I'm not well positioned to turn down the job outright. But I'd like to know whether they'll be resistant about parting ways afterwards. Why? Do you not like getting paid lots of money? I don't like being chained. Fair enough. So you're like, just asking for my advice? The aura loss is incredible. Not gonna attempt to parse that. I doubt you ever could. My generation's sense of humor is practically impregnable. It was a very basic non sequitur, Auntie. It just wasn't funny. Not even. A non sequitur would be, what's the charge? That's just getting back on topic. The charge is homicide. 5 counts. Meh. You're probably fine. All the stuff you hear about mobsters being clingy with their lawyers, it's because they don't want anyone who's been through their underwear drawers running around, telling tales. Whatever poor fucker they've pinned multiple homicides on is obviously not anyone important. I don't think he was framed. Not by his own people. Nah, pinned is in. Stuck with. Like a chore. Powerful people, mob or no. If they get lawyers, it's for tax evasion and conspiracy charges. Dirty work's left to the pawns. And the whole point of a pawn is, you don't have to think twice about trading them off. Alright. Guess I know the rumors are true then. Yep, you uncovered my cool bitchin' secret. Listen, actors, singers, celebs, they all like expensive things and being the center of attention. Mobsters have money to burn and want the cologne of legitimacy. Everyone wants what they can't have. Okay, chill, F. Scott Fitzgerald. Great looking Gatsby as. I still pine for thee, motherfucker. What? All I'm saying is there's mutually beneficial arrangements to be made between the rich and famous and the rich and infamous. So you bet your ass I was in those rooms negotiating appearance fees, and taking my 30%. 30%? You really are shameless. That's what she said. Alright. Thanks as always for the sage counsel. Hey, if you're really feeling grateful, do me a solid and call your rents. They say they never hear from you. And I know you can't be that busy. If you're bored enough to talk to me. They're the ones who are busy. Let's go, Masters! Masters is awesome! Weight depends on the time of day. AB negative. Lawyer to the occupation. Lawyer to the rich and famous. Semi-retired. Likes waterfalls, manicures, macadamia nuts. Dislikes getting ghosted by my adorable goddaughter. Drink cosmopolitan double. Collects favors, friends in high places. And luck super, super rare on the first pull. (5:04 p.m., August 14th, 2086. Obviously, I wasn't sure what would happen after I left that crime scene. And I wasn't sure what I'd find walking in here to speak to my client. But I definitely wouldn't have bet that the next time I saw this man alive, he'd actually look worse. Did you not hear me? I said I'm your lawyer. Oh, I heard you. I'm just not interested in wasting my breath responding. I'm sorry, is there a misunderstanding here? Not at all. I understand exactly what you are. You and all your fellow... Your companion is staring at me very intently. Sarah, blink. You're embarrassing me in front of the Yakuza. That's a very dated word. You'd really prefer I call you an orca? I'd prefer you give up and leave. What are you talking... I'm sure they told you I've been softened up. That they've broken me and I'd be ready to sign whatever you put in front of me. Sorry to disappoint you. But the Hound of Ikaria doesn't heal. Cool. Sosuke, I'm going to repeat myself plainly. And slowly, because you clearly have multiple head injuries. I am not a lawyer. I am your lawyer. Ah. Right then. Very good. Thank you for coming. I apologize if I misspoke just now. I'd misspeak too if I lost as much blood as you. Morgan Esquire, I'll be representing you from here on out. Sosuke, of House Ikaria. Sarah, paralegal and bartender. You're very young to have 2 jobs. Or tend bar. Well, it's only part-time. Right. So tell us, Sosuke of House Ikaria, what's your routine? You look very fit. My... what? Are you asking about... do you not have me on file? Sorry, which firm are you from? DDD, MPM? I'm in private practice. Anyways, I'm glad that Masters is mentioned immediately. You mean you're not a mob lawyer? No, but please don't hold it against me. Everyone has to start the path to corruption somewhere. How is gay legalities? I'm enjoying it. We're already working for the mob. And Morgan's only killed 4 people. There are serious risks involved in representing a man with a background against charges like these. It's very sweet of you to... They say I killed a cop. Miss pussy number. No, she killed 4 people this episode. If I remember, like, I remember fucking, what is it? If you play Model Employee, there's a news ticker going around where the number of heartbreak killings is well over, like, it's in the hundreds. Which is insane. Get your money up, not your funny up. They say I killed a cop, miss. I realize I may look a sorry state at the moment, but I'm not falling so low that I'd sully the house's name by dragging a civilian into... Makoto thought differently. The young master? You've seen him. How is he? Where is he? Is he unharmed? They addressed that in the last episode. That's like... It's like a mob or impersonators or whatever. Like copycats. He was sitting pretty atop a literal throne surrounded by armed guards last time I checked. Thank you for that. No one's told me anything, and The young master has spoken on this matter. I won't go against his judgment. But I do hope you understand what you're getting into. I'm already in it, Sosuke. How well I understand what I'm in is something I think you'd be able to help with. Very well. What do you want to know? So far, all I know about you is your first and last name. It's a very important last name, but I take your meaning. And in truth, the first thing you should know is that I'm not worthy of it. Why, you disqualified due to pre-existing conditions? I was born Sosuke Hayakawa, fourth son of a distant branch family. Only reason I bear the name of Ikaria is because I was adopted into the main house as an infant, in exchange for lifelong service to the main family. Sounds like a great deal? Lifelong? How did you serve the Ikaria as an infant? There are various tax benefits if you have exactly 2 children. Don't be absurd. I am what you would call a bodyguard. From the time I was able to walk, I was trained to be of service to the house by protecting the air with my life. From the time you were able to walk, there are a lot of demand for toddler bodyguards? All that's ever been asked of me is that I stand in the right place at the right time. You mean like in family photographs? Like in front of a blade. Even a child can manage that. The house has given me everything I've ever had and taught me everything I've ever known. What meager servants I can offer in return means nothing compared to the debt I owe them. You view your relationship with your family as a transaction? It's not something so cold, girl. It's a matter of loyalty. Right. So if you were standing before a judge and they asked your name and occupation, you would say, "My name is Sosuke Ikaria, and I'm an eternal servant for a living." I would say my name is Sosuke Ikaria, and I work as the head of personnel security for the Ikaria Financial Group. Head of personnel security, whetstones, paperbacks, matcha. Dislikes the opera, wasabi, and insects. Alexandre Dumas is a good choice. Cafe Americano, pussy. Non-work related messages will be blocked. And what does that entail, exactly? I'm the young master's bodyguard, and I lead all his security teams. How do you dislike the opera? It's just not for everybody. Like, you know, if somebody's just like, I don't like this particular form of art, I'm not going to be like, well, you're stupid. Nice to properly meet you. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. And I'm Sarah, paralegal and bartender part-time. Yes, I believe you already mentioned that. Fuck you, Sosuke, you can't even spell your name right. It seemed like we were all doing it twice. Well, thank you for your paralegal services, Sarah. And here I had the impression you had no sense of humor. What do you mean? It seems in this particular instance, Adonai, it was you who misidentified his proper manners as being sarcastic. Glad we've all broken the ice. Makoto told me that this all started because you were taken captive yesterday. What happened? It was 2 p.m. The young master had just finished a meeting with a VIP in Crane Tower, floor 108. 2 p.m.? He wasn't in school? I'll ask that you refrain from mocking the young master in my presence. He's a child. Anyone can see that. You have no idea the pressures that have been placed on him. Whatever my client wants. As I was saying, it was just after 2 p.m. Me and the rest of my team escorted him to the elevators along our planned exit route, but our lift stopped suddenly in between floors 61 and 62. That was when I made a mistake. I had a bad feeling. Thought it was best to get Makoto to the ground floor ASAP. So I forced the elevator open, crawled out, and pulled him out after me. But just as he got out, the elevator started up again, separating us from the rest of the guard. It was a trap. A 50-50 one. Staying wasn't safe either. If they could stop the elevator, it's not a stretch to think they could drop it, too. He just lost the coin flip when he decided to exit. Yes, Sarah. Yes, Sarah. It was a trap. Floors 60 through 70 were undergoing heavy retrofitting. The other elevators weren't responding. Comms were jammed. I had reviewed the entire building's blueprints beforehand. Not very useful information, obviously, for a floor undergoing renovations. But I knew there was a construction elevator we could get to on the other side of the tower. had to act fast. There were no time to doubt myself, and I did something unforgivable. You left the kid? I picked him up over my shoulder. Oh, well, that sounds like fun. House, forgive me. Everything the young master does for the sake of the name's dignity, and I... kids are tougher than you think. I think he'll get over it. So you escorted him to the service elevator. I take it that's when things... Yes, I'm sorry, but I only remember the few vague details about what happened next. But I'll tell you what little I can. After I activated the lift, 2 assailants emerged from under a tarp doorway at my 7 o'clock. One tall, one thin. Tall was around 190 centimeters, and his weight, I'd say about 100 kilograms with the mods. Thin was maybe 175, but slouched. Modded as well, but what I saw looked stripped down, so it couldn't have been heavier than 70 kilo. They had needle guns. Slow to fire, slow to take effect. Memorable choice. Taller one shot first. Jerked his arm when he pulled the trigger. Bad habit, usually favored by street slinger punks who are used to compensating for the kickback of jailbroken zippers. Might as well have been aiming at the ceiling. Thin lines up his shot properly. Laser sight dialed on the young master's left trapezoid. I shift into a horse rider stance and deflect the needle with my weapon. The lift doors open behind me as another shooter steps forward at my 3 o'clock. Or so I thought, but all they had was a laser pointer. Literally a cheap trick. But it worked. I hear a click from 8 o'clock, turn my neck, and feel a weight punch me in my deltoid. Dullish kind of pain for an instant. Realize I'm already going numb. And that's when I squeeze. Squeeze? He's talking about his mods. That's so funny. Yeah, just like giving the new hire a laser pointer so they can pretend they have a gun to distract the guy. That's how I've always described it. Others say they flex or pull or hold. I squeeze. Akita Type 2 external thoracic booster. Some burst strength and pain-killing capabilities, but in short, it's a reflex enhancer. Makes 1 second feel like 15, in hindsight. Makes it feel like you ran a marathon during those 15 seconds once that kickback hits you. But I digress. I moved. Got Makoto into the elevator and wrenched the door shut myself, taking 3 more needles in the back in the process. I remember saliva pooling on my lip and then cold concrete scratching my cheek. Alright, Sosuke. So you were guarding Makoto, these men laid a trap targeting him with the tranks, failed, then they take you instead. Yes, to my great shame. You were outnumbered and ambushed, but you still managed to protect Makoto. What's there to be ashamed of? That I didn't see it coming. You're saying this has happened before? Dozens of attempts in the past year. Some headed off in the early stages, some sidestepped entirely, and some stops with force. I knew their tactics, and I knew our vulnerabilities. Yet still I failed. Sosuke, that is... not incorrect. Adonai? Am I wrong? Shouldn't a bodyguard get at least 1 shot off before being taken down? Shot? What do you mean shot? You were not carrying a firearm? No, no one on the team had guns. How's that? None of us on the security team had firearms with us. But you're a gangster. I'm head of personnel security for the Ikaria Financial Group. Walking into an allied group's property armed to the teeth insults their hospitality and makes the house look insecure, or worse, impotent. And I'm not a security expert, but I do think there's some gray area between armed to the teeth and empty-handed. I mean, didn't you say you deflected their attack? I was not defenseless just because I wasn't carrying a gun. Oh, yeah, it was his sword. I had my sword. So lame. So cool. You walk around town with, what, a samurai sword? You just assume it's a katana? Is it? Yes. It's a signifier of my position within the house. It shows I'm acting as a representative of it. Is it ceremonial then? No, it is quite sharp. I can attest to that. Though it's probably in terrible condition now, seeing how the city's police manhandle everything else they touch. He's so lame. It's like, of course I didn't have a gun. I had my fucking 1,000 times folded steel to protect me. He did parry a needle with it, though, which is cool. Like, it's not a bullet, but it's like, you know, it's not nothing. Speaking of which, perhaps we should move on to the night's main events? They tried for Makoto, got you instead, and took you to the lower wards. Why? I've been wondering that myself. Aren't you essentially worthless? As a hostage, she means. I know that! How else with his zero cut through your Mustang? Thinking back, I was surprised to find myself to wake up at all, let alone captivity. But it seems they had questions they wanted to ask me. What do you remember? Whatever they used on me, I can remember some things, but how much of it was real in what order it happened in, it's all... Just say whatever comes to mind. It can be anything. Sights, smells, voices. There are no wrong answers. I can think of one wrong answer. I was bound, my wrists bound above my head, tied to something. Smelled like iron and rattled like old iron. Tiles beneath my feet, some kind of bathroom or decontamination area. Good guess. They asked me questions. I said things. Loose lips, like being drunk for the first time again. But I'm confident that other than vulgarities, it was all incoherent. Because there were shocks, the taste of blood, must have bit my tongue during the spasms. And there were beatings, of course. I wouldn't have guessed. Adonai, do you need corrective lenses? Sarcasm is just how I grieve a lost opportunity, Sarah. Lost opportunity? Yeah, it's a damn shame. From what I can see of it, a pretty face like yours would go a long way with the jury if it wasn't pulverized. Ridiculous. Is he blushing? I agree about his face, Adonai, but I don't believe it's his only strong feat. Let us move on. Really? Well, in that case, how did your captivity end? Do you recall escaping? I was blindfolded the entire time, but my ears weren't boxed so hard. There was a door, it squeaked and whined, so I always knew when someone was coming or going. One voice asked questions mostly. It was light. Another voice grunted when he hit me, heavy. Other voices came and went, and then eventually, there was talk. Through the door, I heard they were all talking to someone else. A new voice? Was it high-pitched or low, loud or soft? It doesn't matter. What's important is that it belonged to someone new. Someone besides you and the dead who was there last night. Did you make out any part of their conversation? No, not a word. There was a loud noise, gunshots, followed by shouting and ugly sounds. And then, a hollow pain in my skull as I lost consciousness again. When I next came to, I had something in my hands. Something sharp. I didn't even think to ask what it was or where it came from. I just started working the bindings. Rushed and clumsy, poked myself in the process. But I cut them loose, took the gag out, and the blindfold was so tight I cut it rather than try and... the damn thing must have been acting as a bandage, because when I took it off, between the light and the pain, I thought my head had split open. It took me a long time to stand up. Felt like I could just lie on that cold, disgusting floor forever if I just... But something was poking me. Something tucked into my waistband. A gun. A gun. Imagine my surprise. Checked the safety, the chamber, reflexively, but only saw 2 spent slugs. Was too tired to be confused, so I just walked out on that squeaky door and then into red. Just red. And then I was blinking at an IV, handcuffed to a stretcher in an ambulance, some cop reading me my rights, saying that I killed 5 people. No, wait, some judge or official said that later. When I woke up in the ambulance, all they said that I was a cop killer. Omitting some strong language. I don't understand. You were held captive, interrogated, tortured, and then you woke up armed and were able to escape? The cops didn't ask me any questions, and I wouldn't have answered if they had. It's been nearly a full day, and I'm just now saying it aloud for the first time. It truly sounds absurd. This is your world, Sosuke, not mine. You have any theories on what happened? Only 2 possibilities come to mind. In the first scenario, one or more of my captors wanted to kill me but needed an excuse to do so. So they let me escape. They gave me a knife and an unloaded gun, then wait for me to stumble out so they can miss me and be done with it. But the plan doesn't work. Somehow, I limp out of that room and shoot, cut, stab, kill them all. That would be quite the feat, given the condition you say you were in. Yes, a tale for the ages. But it's not possible. Why isn't it possible? Even if he had the motive and they were stupid enough to give him the opportunity, he was still lacking bullets. In the brief I read, 2 of the pod were shot to death. I'm sure you're highly qualified, Sosuke, but I doubt you can fire a gun without bullets. No, I cannot. As I said, the gun I woke up with had already fired both its shots. So if we tell the police that the gun wasn't loaded, would that clear Sosuke's name for 2 of the murders? There's no proof the gun was already empty by the time he got his hands on it. She's right. That gun was some kind of jailbroken and mag rail. The only residue it would leave behind is static. So long as my prints are on it, that's all the evidence they need to claim I fired it. How about that second possibility, then? The second possibility is that someone walked into that building, killed my captors, and then tried to frame me for it. That sounds like lunacy. We've already eliminated the other possibility. Insane trumps impossible. Like it or not, this bad Samaritan theory is our best shot. What is it? I'm just surprised you believe me. You haven't even asked if I did it. I never ask. Helps that I can usually tell. Wise policy for the world you're setting foot into. Not as if it makes any difference here. Even I don't know if I'm guilty. You were drugged and beaten. You're still injured even now. And we just reasoned that you couldn't have killed your captors without help. What makes you think that you might still be guilty? Because I've killed before. A pale spark flickers at the back of my mind. My index finger raises slightly. My lips part. Was I expecting this? Stepping into the criminal underworld? Looking forward to it? The rare opportunity to speak frankly with someone else who's... You mean... Yes. I was in the military. Okay. I've taken lives. Many times. That doesn't make you a murderer. Soldiers are given orders. I've killed people. Whether or not a superior asked me to doesn't change that fact. But soldiers... Are you a soldier, Sarah? No? So drop it. She is good at following orders. It sure does, Sarah. It can take years to acquire that skill. I imagine it comes easy for androids. Yes, I suppose that's... Wait, that's an android? Did you miss the glowing barcode? And ignore my self-introduction? Look, I'm tired. I thought those were highlights or something. Did my hair catch your eye? You have discerning taste. You see, each strand is actually... Was there something you wanted to say, Sosuke? I've taken lives before, and so I know how I feel afterwards. Thin. And how do you feel right now? Right now I feel... What is it? You remember something? Yes. After I stepped out that door, I said I saw red. But I do remember one other sensation. I remember the feeling of gripping my sword. That brief you read, it listed all the charges, all the causes of death. The 5th man, the cop they say I killed. How did he die? It's like, oh, somebody shot him with a rocket launcher. Did you have one of those? Stabbed through the back with a sword. Skewered like a piece of goddamn meat. And you've got the balls to ask us to carry him to a hospital? I don't think that's quite how I phrased that request. I've been paying close attention. Would you like me to play back what you said? Not right now, Sparky. Reyes, she's just doing her job. It's not like she's asking. Oh, save the lecture, gray hair. Gray? I'm glad these two are back. Mostly Reyes. Duct tape, mascara, oak, parking lots, ties, honeydew. Best at finding new restaurants. Wardrobe more expensive than it looks. Come on, my hair isn't. It's graying, maybe, but I mean, he is blonde. It's graying, it's not all gray, or even mostly gray. In case I haven't made it clear, I've never liked you, Morgan. Aw, you're breaking my heart. I hadn't noticed. But I never took you for a mob lawyer. Whatever my client's associations might be, he's a cop killer. Innocent until proven guilty isn't a phrase I coined myself, detective. Third-class homicide detective. Likes sneakers, volcanoes, and the Paralympics. Dislikes scalpers, hoarders, and anise. Favorite TV is civil engineering documentaries. Interesting. Shampoo, dunno. Conditioner's more important. That is true. Undefeated at volleyball. Damn, volleyball champion. I like volleyball. It's actually somewhat important. Oh, don't worry about that. The proving won't take us long at all. Do you always take pride in rushing your investigations? We've all seen the same intake file by now, yes? Sosuke Ikario was apprehended at the scene of the crime and placed in a medical transport. Injuries noted at the time. Blood from various sources across the anterior of the body. Numerous bones in left hand broken as if from impacting a hard surface. Slight laceration found on left hand. Internal bleeding throughout the torso and skull. Bruising and rope burns on both wrists if found. Numerous bruises on the anterior side of the body. Others blood across tops of feet and pant legs. Largest wound found on the crown of the skull, back of the head near the top. Didn't he say that he got shot in the back by like 3 needles? At the time of booking, numerous additional injuries were noted, including bruise to left eye, busted lip, broken nose, boxed left ear, blunt trauma to the anterior right side of the head. When or where additional injuries were sustained is not noted. My client was in bad shape when he was arrested, but his wounds were treated in a medical transport. Yet somehow, in between arriving at the station and his booking, all his wounds were reopened, and some of them had multiplied. Tell me if you can, great detective. How will we ever solve the mystery of the reappearing fractured skull? Your client was being moved between floors. He struggled, trying to escape, and then he fell down the stairs. Really? Was there a lawnmower waiting at the bottom? Look, we're all adults here. So let's just say it. Your coworkers kicked the shit out of him. Well, what do you want me to do about it? I want you to uphold the law. For some reason, I thought you cared about that. A police badge isn't a time machine. By the time we took custody, he was already... He's right, Tiger. What's done is done. You know you got a snowball's chance in hell of proving your client was assaulted while in police custody, and you'll never get charges brought against the officers who did it. So try asking for something doable. Don't go giving away all my best tricks. The door-in-the-face tactics is already fragile. I want him to see a doctor. You gotta be shitting me. That's blooded KW in there. That's a blooded KW in there with military-grade mods. He's not leaving this building. But we could have a doctor brought here. And give him the chance to take a hostage? He's not the 99 man, Reyes. He can't break his cuffs. Don't say 99 man. You don't know what it means. You're too old. Let's see. The 99 man, or a 99 man, refers to a theoretical state of being in which a human has replaced as much of their body with cybernetic equivalents as possible, thereby becoming someone who is 99% machine and is yet technically still human. I was supposed to meme and thought experiment open up. Interesting. How Industries Theseus Initiative. Apparently they had one person who they tested this on, and he is currently living a normal life. Sort of. How about a medic who can't be taken hostage? A medical ad? Sure, great. Let's see if we can't negotiate his premium lower while we're at it. Is that a refusal, Detective Reyes? Oh, I didn't say no, did I? Great. He also needs a protective detail. Lady, I swear to... Counselor, protective details are comprised of off-duty cops. I don't think they'll have the outcome you're looking for. No. But if my client is left unattended one more night, he's likely to be declared unfit to stand trial when he shows up to court with his head caved in. An outcome I genuinely believe you're not looking for either. We could keep him here. What, in the interrogation room? Counseling quarter. Table can't be moved, but if you slide the chairs out of the way, the floor is not actually that hard. How do you even know that? Given what other lodgings he's had in the last 24 hours, I don't think your client would mind. So if Detective Reyes and Detective Ludden take shifts keeping watch... Now we're keeping watch? It is the Homicide Department's counseling quarter. You think I give a shit what happens to that son of a bitch? You think I wouldn't walk in there myself and... You wouldn't. What? It's not in your nature. What the hell is that supposed to mean? You either have it in you or you don't. Trust me, if I had the chance to take a swing at that son of a bitch... Yeah, you already called him that, a piece of shit, a bastard, a killer... But unlike every other cop I've walked past to get in here, you've yet to call Sosuke an animal. So what? What the hell does that matter? It's the only thing that matters. I've got the outsider's perspective, so I know. Your average human can do anything to anyone, so long as they're not a person. Whatever. Think what you want, creep. Well, so long as that's your only request, we should be able to... I need to get into the crime scene as soon as possible. You've gotta be... What, like tonight? She's not rushing more than anyone else, Sunshine. Everyone up the line has been raring to go on this, now that Sosuke's actually got a lawyer. Well, maybe if that son of a bitch hadn't clammed up all day, we wouldn't... She said it again. Whatever. Pick, then, counselor. You can bully us into guard duty or escort duty, but we can't do both. I need both. You'll have to split up. But I can help with that. Or rather, Sarah can. I can? Of course you can. You can go treat Sosuke. Adonai, I'm not trained in... Oh, I love this bitch. She's pretending she doesn't remember being registered as my medical ad. Yes, I would never forget that unforgettable experience. But I've never done first aid before. Well, watch a tutorial first. Use lots of sanitizer. Just hand her some bandages and she'll get Sosuke looking good as new in no time. Then you can plop her in front of the door and even 20 crooked cops working together couldn't get her to budge. That much is certainly accurate. I have a strong core, so if I focus and lower my center of gravity... Thanks for the sales pitch, but it doesn't mean shit. The crime scene is in the lower wards. If you think, after what happened last night, that any cop with a pulse would go down there without their partner... It's okay, Sunshine. I'll take her down there. Is everyone else in here huffing Nirvana? London, it's blue blood territory. Blue blood territory outskirts, really. They lost a whole pod. They'll be swarming the place. You can't go down there without backup. Backup, huh? You know Mac from Contraband? Skinny guy? Kind of a perv? Yeah, he's skinny. Look, he's got crime scene analysis sweeps going over that place with a fine comb right about now. Drones, probes, the works. They'll have eyes on us before we get within 5 minutes of the place. Whatever. Just keep in contact for once. I hope you're being generously compensated, Eve. Selling your soul to the mob. It'd be a shame if you didn't at least get a good price. Hey, you coming, blinkers? Gotta find where they store all the medkits in this dusty old piece of... Go on. I'll be right behind you, detective. Sorry about that. He's still new to all this, really. Not old like me. She does seem to be on edge. More so than usual. It's her first time losing a fellow officer. I think she's taken it pretty hard. Maybe even personally? Did they know each other? Hmm? Ah, right. You gather up all your things. I'll go bring us up a ride. Great. Thanks for all the help, detective. You're a lifesaver. So this is one occasion where we wouldn't have any trouble finding the place. Really? It didn't take you that long to patch him up, huh? Now we just wait here. All night. How do you feel about shooters with sim aspects? I mean, I like those. Like, do you mean like immersive sims like Deus Ex? Or like, do you mean like just deeper, like tactical shooters or whatever? No? No, not that? That clock runs pretty slow. If you're not doing anything else, Detective, might you be interested in answering some questions? "5:48 p.m., August 14th, 2086. Once more into the depths. When I went down the lower wards last night, I knew what I wanted to find, but I wasn't sure where to look. Now I know where to look, but I have multiple priorities to consider. It'd be nice if I can prove Sosuke's innocence. It won't be easy. Battletech games have like mech building, maintenance, and usually mercenary company sim aspects in addition to mech blasting. That sounds kind of cool. It won't be easy given that they think he killed a cop, but it'll keep me on the Ikaria's good side. That'd be nice. But what is essential is that I figure out what the hell happened after I left, and whether anyone found any trace that I was ever there. Everything else is second to... Sorry, I guess I should have asked before deciding we'd be sharing a cab. I don't mind. I don't know why we're both standing up in here, but you know. But I am surprised. Did budget cuts take away your shiny patrol car? Patrol cars are shared, counselor. Any cop can step in any other cop's car, sync their credentials, and drive. Convenient. Shame you can't personalize. Yeah, no more dice in the mirror. Is that why we're in the cab, then? Personal taste? Police cars are full of bugs. Thought you might appreciate the privacy. Auto cabs are full of bugs, too. True, but there are ways around them. Are there? I didn't know that. Yeah, plenty. Can be easy as flashing a police badge. Something you wanted to discuss in private, Detective? I was asked to get in contact with you and pass along a message. A secret admirer? Certain interested parties and all that. You know how it is. I'm not sure I do. Does this have something to do with my client's business affiliations? There would be a lot more blustering if I were to repeat it in verbatim, so I'll paraphrase. Focus on getting the best outcome for your client. More a reminder of what my job description is than a warning. And don't broaden the scope of your investigation any more than strictly necessary. Well, I always appreciate kind words of advice. But Detective London, that almost makes it sound like you're on the take. That's the city, Tiger. If you don't take a little, they'll bury you. Alive, if need be. Oh, they will. How conspiratorial. It's not a joke, Morgan. Do they threaten your wife with Tommy guns if you don't comply? Yeah, it's gotten more sophisticated than that. Well, maybe sophisticated isn't the right word. Complicated might be more accurate. Or you could just call it a quagmire. Or even a shitstorm. If you can't get along to go along, even other cops won't trust you. You'll end up shot in the back, friendly fire, a tragic newspaper clipping. You're exaggerating. You're telling me the entire police force is corrupt. Corruption would be one thing. You could, in theory, root it out. But above and below the canopy, it's all intertwined. Every tree stabilizing every other tree. What do they call that? Not parasitism. Commensalism. How long until that happens to Reyes? I don't know. There you go. The state pays criminal informants to rat on their peers and lets them keep their positions in exchange. Orcas buy judges and politicians to keep their men out of prison. Second to last or last chapter, do you think? I feel like if somebody approached Reyes with that, something pretty significant would have to happen to get her to, like, actually even consider it. Given her temper. Status quo, balancing act, a cycle. Stable as any gyroscope. Forgive me, I find that hard to believe. Crime is at an all-time low. Not a contradiction. People hate crime. But what gets people killed is chaos. I mean, getting murdered by the other cops for it? Probably second to last chapter. The opposite of organized crime is... So everyone's playing nice with each other? Even Detective Reyes? Jeez. What about the man they think my client killed? Did he play nice? He was a special case. You got the brief. You recognize his last name? It's a big city. I don't put much stock into last names. You'll need to break that habit if you continue to work in the underworld. Sosuke said something similar. Tariq Chopin, only son of Miguel and Dominique Chopin. The power couple? Why would the son of two of our city's most prominent council members be working as a police officer? So, this guy's parents are two of the people who brought up one of the bills that's being proposed. Yeah. 176 patrol officer likes 24/7 news. Calligraphy, that's a good choice. Late dinners. Dislikes gray hairs, untucked shirts, mint. So he just hates London. Education, Bachelor of Science in Applied Philosophy. Awarded senatorial commendation of bravery, posthumous. Survived by fathers Miguel and Dominique Chopin, city councilman. Check it out! Gay dads on the dead guy. You want the full story? Always. So who is this Chopin, really? An idealist. Wrong line of work, then. You're only half right. When he entered the academy, everyone assumed it was a political move. First step in his career to becoming a senator or whatever. Maybe it was, but anyone who met the guy could tell you he would have made a lousy politician. You're saying he was honest. Wouldn't tell a lie if his life depended on it. Guy couldn't do small talk, much less make friends. Talked about cleaning up the city, cleaning up the police, cleaning up everything. If he was so unpopular, why was he kept on? No one in the force wanted to risk insulting his parents by firing him. Based on a tabletop game that borrowed a lot of... Oh yeah, no, I know about BattleTech. I enjoy a lot of the models, but I prefer more humanoid mechs, so there's not a lot to go off of. But yeah, I might look into the BattleTech games if they're like mech shooter with sim aspects. That might be fun. Just got passed around from department to department, detail to detail. He did a lot of community outreach. Community outreach? What, like bake sales? They're mostly humanoid being stole from like Macross and stuff. Well, I've just never seen that in terms of the tabletop. Most of them are like the two-leg ones with like the cockpit and guns attached to them. Or like the gun tank. I was thinking like Lancer style, like humanoid. Like giving talks at schools about saying no to drugs until you turn 21. Oof. Must have really loved his job to put up with that. Or he just wanted to prove a point that bad. Don't you try to save lower ward patrols for the more seasoned, better armed officers? We do, yeah. How'd you know that? By going to the lower wards and looking at the cops you send there, of course. I read about it in Watch magazine last month. Oh. If Chopin was the son of such a powerful man, why did he end up in the lower wards last night? That... I don't know. You don't know? By all accounts, he and his partner should have been at least 2 patrols removed from that area. Must have been following up on some other lead. His partner, who's that? The hero who finally arrested the Hound of Icaria, that's who? I'll have to send him a congratulatory fruit basket. BattleTech and MechWarrior are the same, so check out those names. I've heard of MechWarrior games. I hadn't heard of BattleTech video games. Huey Rogers. Pretty bare-bones record, but maybe they'll just add to his legend. What legend? Taking your client alive. Whacked him on the head with his sidearm, knocked him out cold. I guess it is a small miracle that Sosuke wasn't just shot dead if they thought he killed a cop. Maybe, but it wasn't pure luck. Only thing that did stick out to me in Rogers' record was his shooting score. 41. Out of 100. You need 40 to pass. I think someone took pity on him when tallying up his score. Only whacked Sosuke on the head because he was too bad of a shot to avenge his partner? At least Rogers knows his weaknesses. I keep hearing that name. The Hound of Icaria. I cringe every time. No one actually calls him that, right? Sorry, but I've definitely heard that name circulating around organized crime before. Must be one hell of a bodyguard to have earned a nickname for it. He's a bodyguard? Yeah, he must be pretty good. Of course, hound dogs are known for other things besides guarding. Sorry, that was, crude. Oh, don't be sorry. I didn't even get enough of the joke to be offended. Okay, that all makes for some interesting food for thought, but Detective London, if you are working for the Blue Bloods... I never said I worked for the Blue Bloods. It's more of a gig worker type thing, Tiger. I'm friends with everybody. If you are working for the mob in general, then how do I know you're even taking me to the right place and not to... Whoa, whoa! I may pass a message along here and there, but I'm not... Damn. Hell, no one else is either. Whatever you're imagining, it's not that exciting, I promise. Not that exciting. Sounds about right. Is it like this in every city? Handshakes and gentlemen's agreements behind closed doors? You disillusioned? The state has a great deal of power, Detective London. It makes countless rules. Now, I'm a big girl. I know those rules don't apply to people equally, and I understand the value of criminal informants and the possible conflicts of interest that arise in trying to keep them around. What I don't get is why the state has all this strength, and it won't use it to just wipe the underworld off the map. That's pretty cold logic. I expect my state to be far colder. Hey, you ever heard this one? A politician, a CEO, and a mob boss are sitting at a round table with a gun in the middle. Who are you betting on? A CEO looks at a loaded gun and sees the bullets in the clip as inventory that needs moving. Plus, they're used to taking a job and setting up their golden parachute before anyone else. I doubt they'd walk into that room without first planning how they're getting out of it. Fair enough. CEOs only get the job in the first place by convincing their board they can navigate high stakes. But it's a trick question, of course. Rock, paper, scissors has no trump card. The politician can bring the heavy arm of the law down on the mob boss if he doesn't shoot the CEO for him. Mob boss can have the CEO's family killed if he doesn't blow away the politician first. The CEO can turbocharge the campaign of whomever the politician's opponent is if he refuses to miss the mob boss. Yeah, it seems like you could make the argument to go in the other direction, too. You could. So the point the riddle's meant to teach is this. Whoever convinces someone else to pull the trigger comes out on top. Funny. So in the parable you've set up, the gun on the table, that's the police? A blameless tool with no will of its own? Yep. Though it was older men than I who set it up. Didn't realize this country's police were so powerless. However do you manage? We used to have a partner that helped us out, the tiebreaker. Because all three of those powerful men would be screwed if a journalist told the world they were meeting together. I've got good news for you, Detective. Journalists still exist. I could introduce you to one. You could even take a photograph. Oh, I know they're not extinct. People will always write. Just that no one wants to pay them to. Sorry, didn't mean to talk so much. Maybe it's nerves coming back down here. What happened the last time he visited? Something up? Didn't put you to sleep, did I? No. Actually, your 3-seat table reminded me of an even older thought experiment. If God is omnipotent, why does he allow the existence of the devil? Even I know that one. Preserve free will or whatever, right? Yeah, that's the answer most people give. But now I'm wondering if it isn't a rock, paper, scissors deadlock like the one you just described. God lets the devil be so he'll terrify man, and man will always need God's warm protection. And God needs man's faith, which can't be compelled? Of course, most people would also say that God's long dead in the 21st century. But we're still around. That leaves the devil in an awfully strong position, doesn't it? You always picture 3 men in the room, don't you? Huh? Yeah, I guess I do. Sorry. Do 55 feminist rosaries for your penance. Owned for being unfeminist. Imagine more women with guns. Now, I am hungry. And that seems like a good place to end it. I'm hungry and I have to go do other stuff. So I will leave you there. A little on the nose, Morgan. Saved. And I will see you all on Sunday. Bye-bye.